The one to watch.
The Ansett Cup, proudly brought to you by Nike. What are you getting ready for? Holden Commodore Series 2. Drive the pride, drive the passion, drive on. West End Draft. And Ansett Australia, official airline to the AFL. Seven Sport takes you to Football Park for the clash between Adelaide and Geelong in round 2 of the Ansett Australia Cup.
Yes, good evening and welcome to Football Park as the Crows make their way onto a magnificent playing surface here for another home game in round 2 of the Ansett Cup for 2000. They played here last week and were beaten by Melbourne. Tonight they take on Geelong, who played last week at Waverley and went down by just 4 points to St Kilda. Geelong have a pretty poor record over here at Football Park, which we'll see in just a moment. But a pretty big game for both these sides, trying to win their first match in this series. Drew Morford and Ian Robertson with you. I'm looking forward to it. There's a bit of spice in this because Gary Ayres is coaching against his old side.
No doubt about that, and I'm sure the Geelong boys will want to show up against their old coach. Adelaide didn't do too badly last week. They introduced 5 or 6 young fellows. Yeah. Not all of them had a lot of ground time, but they were quite competitive against Melbourne. And Geelong only going down, as you said, against St Kilda at Waverley last week by less than a goal.
Gary Ayres, he's followed Malcolm Blight down to Geelong and he's followed him again to the Adelaide Crows. I wonder how he'll go this time. How does he feel tonight against his old team? Here he is with Neil Curley.
Well, Gary, the old club, but and it's a known fact that for some reason the players love to perform well against the old coach.
Yeah, it's probably just one of those quirks, I suppose, in football, and it's probably a little bit like players obviously going to other clubs, and of course then they come to the situation where they play against their old team and they want to do well. But look, it's a different set of circumstances, obviously. You know, Mark Thompson's taken over the club and he's got to put his ideals and philosophies in, as I have to do here. So, you know, the biggest thing I want to get out of the night, though, is an improved performance from last week.
Last week you got hurt in ruck, I thought, particularly in the second half. Has Mark Micker had much to do this week with the ruckman?
Yeah, Mark's been working with them, but I suppose the thing is they're 2 young guys that haven't played much footy at all, and obviously we're trying to teach them the way I want them to play. And really, I thought their first halves were okay, but certainly after that, Jeff White and young Simmons, I thought, dominated. But also, too, their ground players, I thought, got a bit too much of the ball out of the midfield, and that subsequently put our defence under pressure. So we're looking to at least break even in that area tonight.
It'll be a tough one. All the best.
Thank you.
Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Curls. Let's have a look at Adelaide's lineup. You saw them last week, Robbo, and they debuted a couple of blokes. Crowell did all right.
Crowell was good early, lost it a bit as the game wore on, but that's to be expected, having his first taste of it. Young Byrne wearing Tony Modra's old number and looks very much like Tony Modra. Looked a bit nippy when he got onto the ground. Scott Welsh from North Melbourne, the Kangaroos, kicked a few goals and looks a plus for the Crows. And down the bottom of the list there was Sikalella, who came on and had about a dozen possessions. There's Scott Welsh there, and he came from South Australia to play with the Kangaroos. Played in a premiership team, and he's back here, and I'm sure the Crows will be pleased with his performance last week.
Yeah, he'll be happy to be home. I talked about the Cats' record at Football Park. This is their record against both the Crows and the Power, and they've won just once, and that was in an Ansett Cup match in 1997 against the Crows. But for premiership points, the Crows are 7-0 against the Cats over at Football Park. So it sounds like an uphill task here tonight for the Cats. Let's have a look at their lineup. And last week they debuted young David Spriggs, who was their second-round pick in the draft. He did well. And young Corey, who was their first-round pick from East Perth, he makes his debut tonight. He's just 17 years of age.
Well, I think he could be an exciting entry into AFL ranks. There's 6 young Spriggs. But getting back to Corey, you said coming from Western Australia, All-Australian under-18, played in the series, the underage series against Ireland, and a terrific athlete by the look of him, and there's plenty of football in that young fella.
He won the Barassi medal for the best for the under-17s against Ireland. Good conditions here after a week where the temperature has been in the 40s. We've got down to more football weather. A couple of big guns for the Cats. Buddha Hocking's out there and Barry Stoneham as well. Back for the start soon.
Nobody knows what's shaking, nobody knows what's breaking. Nobody knows Adelaide like 7. Nobody knows what's cooking, nobody else is looking. Nobody knows Adelaide like 7. Nobody knows. And it shows. Nobody knows Adelaide like 7. Nobody knows who's trying, nobody knows who's lying. Nobody knows Adelaide like 7. Nobody knows the rumors. Nobody knows the humor. Nobody knows Adelaide like 7. Nobody knows. And it shows. Nobody knows Adelaide like 7. Nobody knows. And it shows. Nobody knows Adelaide like 7.
And welcome back to Football Park, just on dusk here. And the ground, I don't think I've ever seen it look better. It looks absolutely superb. You can nearly play billiards on it. Andy McLeod is back for the Crows here tonight, and he's having a bit of a jostle there with David Clark before the opening bounce out on centre wing. Curls?
Yeah, hi Drew, how are you, and how's everybody else? There is a slight breeze tonight favouring the left of screen. Now that's a breeze. I don't know if they can make it a goal advantage, of course. That will depend upon the players, how well they perform. But Gary Ayres a little bit keyed up for this. I noticed he stayed out there until the final warm-up and the players moved into their respective positions before he came in. So I think there's a little bit of needle there tonight, even though it's only an Ansett Cup game. But it should be a beauty. Back to you too.
Thanks, Curls. Yes, I think there might be just a little bit in it.
The early game we saw underage boys play, and it was 5 points the difference at the end of the game. And they were scoring at that right-hand end, and it wasn't that difficult.
Rhett Biglands to take on Stephen King at the opening bounce. King gets the ball down and the Cats straight into business. Peter Riccardi, the acting skipper tonight, goes long. It's a pretty tall forward line for the Cats. Stoneham there, and also Ben Graham lining up on the forward line. It comes outside the 50. Contest near the boundary line. That's in the back. Geelong free kick. Crowd straight away not very happy with it, and it'll be taken by Daniel Lowther. 65 metres out from goal. King's got down there from rucking and takes the mark.
Well, I think Neil Curley mentioned to Gary Ayres that they were beaten badly in the ruck. It was Jeff White last week. And Curls, already Stephen King, it looks as though he's going to have an impact on this match.
Well, he's far too experienced and too big for the Crows rookies. And if this boy does have a big impact, it could lead to a good Geelong win.
Gee, there's a lot of football left in this fellow. He's only 21 years of age.
And it comes round beautifully for a goal.
Monday on 7, Mike Willis's 5-year quest to tell the stories of the world's last remaining tribes begins. And what he has witnessed.
The beating is very real.
From surprising innocence to brutal sacrifice is truly astonishing.
They took a child away from her and left it to die in the bushes.
Monday, 7:30, the outstanding new series, The Last Warriors, on 7.
Now, we do have a bit of an idea of the bench there for Geelong. We were told that it would be Spriggs, Corey, Steinfort, Simpson, Scarlett, Mensch, Hocking and O'Brien.
So, that is affirmative.
Thanks, Curls. You've Geelong people and the people back in Melbourne would be familiar with a few of those faces. There's a free kick has been picked out of it. It's going to Jarman. Jarman had an electrifying first half last week, but was quiet in the second half. Rashudo, very much an impact player for Adelaide, kicks the ball to the goal square. It's hurried through in the finish by Sanderson. Rush behind to Adelaide.
One thing there, going by that mark of King's, Ian, you notice it wasn't taken against his direct opponent, the ruckman. It was taken against a half-back flanker.
Fair enough. This is Milburn, and Darren looks as though he's had a bit of a lemon rinse there. He gets it away to Sanderson. Sanderson down towards the wing. No mark taken by Nigel Smart. Gathered there by Arnott. Got the ball to Riccardi. Dropped the ball. Jarman was a good tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Now a nest of crows, and away goes Rashudo again.
Kick by Rashudo inside the 50. Great roving by McLeod. Simple goal coming up. Brilliant burst of speed. What a star, Andy McLeod.
Well, I'd like to bring Curls in here. Curls, I think I saw Stephen Trigg interviewed by Bruce Abernathy on the news when I arrived here in Adelaide tonight, and Stephen suggested that McLeod and Costa would not have much ground time, but if you leave this fellow on the ground, surely it's got to be good for him in the long run.
Well, of course, they'd like to give him as much ground time as he'd like to take because of his knee, but there's a lot of good things in sport. You know, all sports have their great things to look at, but I don't think there's anything better than in Australian rules footy to see a kid read the ball off the pack and finish off.
Magnificent football. I agree with you entirely. Jarman can't break away. Rashudo dragged off the football. Bit of a congestion. Trying to get the ball clear was Snell. It was kicked forward eventually. It through went Bickley.
Look out.
The rebound is with McLeod. Beautiful kick. He's already had an influence on this game in the early 3 minutes, Andrew McLeod. That scintillating Norm Smith medalist from 1997, 1998. Peter Vardy with the football. Shooting for goal from about 35, maybe 40 metres. He'll have to kick the ball 45-degree angle. Renowned goal kicker. On this occasion, misses to the right. Through for Adelaide, second behind. They lead 1-2 to a goal. The goal for Geelong, kicked by Stephen King. The goal for Adelaide, kicked by Andrew McLeod.
Just fantastic football by McLeod.
As we've already seen, like with modern football now, the wind sometimes doesn't have any effect on the ground at all.
Riccardi kicks in and gets plenty of distance. Cats with the slight breeze in the first term, and the free kick goes to Biglands. Rhett Biglands from Woodville, West Torrens. And he puts it in short. Vardy. Yes, the mark paid.
Drew, going back to Vardy here, you know, the local knowledge here this year is the boy has lost quite a bit of weight and he's moving much better because of it.
So Peter Vardy from not far off centre. Man on the mark about 35 metres out from goal. He's having a long run up at this and should really kick a goal. Crows lead by 2 points. And now 8 points.
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come back no more. Don't you come.
So the Crows bench that we're looking at right now, we've got Costa, young Byrne, Brett James, Connell, Yerbury, a youngster, Bowen, a youngster, Allen, premiership player, and Gallagher, who had a few games last year. Is the advantage with Adelaide? No, it's not. McLeod was about to break away, but the umpire has decided to bring it back to where the free kick was awarded, and it will go to Biglands. Biglands kicks from the centre of the ground. It drops in short. No mark taken. That was Harley for the Cats. Kicked away by Sanderson, back towards the middle of the ground. And a gather there by Snell. He couldn't break away. The umpires decided on a bounce just forward of the centre circle. It's still about 75 to 80 metres from the Geelong goal. They are our umpires for tonight's match: Brian Sheehan, Colin Rouston and Michael Avon.
Paying a few free kicks here at the moment. Brian Sheehan, the experienced man, and blooding a couple of younger umpires. And Biglands has had a couple of free kicks, but this is Crowell for the Crows. Inside centre half forward. Definitely held up in the breeze, that ball. Work to the back, but it goes to Sanderson. He's looking for the line. There's nobody out there for the Cats. And he finds touch just outside the defensive 50.
Actually, an interesting bit of trivia there. Brenton Sanderson started his career here with Adelaide Crows.
And in a completely different forward make-up tonight with Geelong as opposed to Melbourne, had all their players back in that goal square.
Frees a 4-1 in favour of the Crows. The ball worked towards the line again for another boundary throw-in. There's Crowell, number 1.
I think he's being penalised.
Deliberate.
Yep.
So this will go to Lowther to take the free.
It might have been Milburn, I think, drew the kick that forward, but a marking contest on centre wing. Simon Arnott trying to break clear, but it's Nigel Smart for the Crows. Dashes and then a mongrel punt kick across the centre line. Chance there for McGrath to tap it forward. Chance now for Lowther. Gets it back to Scholl. Scholl to be tackled. Just got hold of the jumper there, Andrew McLeod, but not able to retard Scholl. Hand pass from Snell, found McGrath. McGrath off the left foot, goes in towards full forward. Marking contest. No one can take that. At the bottom of the pack is Edwards. Snell's covered some territory. Gets it back to Graham, but the ball had gone over for a boundary throw in left forward pocket for Geelong, about 35 to 40 metres around from their goal.
Ian, interesting one for you. We see now with this new interpretation of knocking the ball out, they're doing it with an open hand. When you and I played, that was a throw.
It was too, Neil, but I guess the umpire's a bit of leniency just to get the ball into the open and make sure that we don't have these packs that are forming right now. Brian Sheehan having to ball it up about 35 metres from the Geelong goal. Scoreboard, Adelaide 2-2, lead Geelong a goal. Chance now for the Crows to get clear of their half-back line. Johnson combines with Rashudo. Rashudo, beautiful kick at the face there of McGregor, and McGregor takes a good mark. He goes wide to Rashudo. Rashudo delivered the ball. He shares it with Bickley. Bickley in towards full forward. Little hand there, but the free kick not paid, so Scholl wastes no time and kicks it very wide out in front of the Geelong player Corrigan, and his pass is all right, finds Graham. Graham's got a loose player, and have a guess who it is. Ronnie Burns. He's got 15 metres into the clear and is marked within scoring range.
Classic example there, Ian, of when the team breaks hard and goes forward and leaves their opponents behind. If the ball is not kicked beautifully and caught, the defenders rebound to loose players.
Well, Burns trying to allow for the breeze by Jet. Did come back at the finish. Just missed to the right of the goalpost. Through for a behind. 1-1 plays 2-2. Adelaide lead. Adelaide midfield possessions 12 to Geelong 5. So dominating in that area are the Crows.
Gee, I wonder if Ronnie Burns put the spin on the ball like that, or whether the breeze was so strong, because that ball really curled in the air. It was going to be a free to Adelaide. Rashudo goes on with business, but they've turned it over in midfield. Comes to Graham. He goes mighty long, Ben Graham. Look at this, good heavens. He's kicked it from the next suburb. Stephen King, actually. So maybe there was Ben Graham. So maybe there is a bit of breeze behind, but Benny Graham is one of the longest kicks in football, and I still think he's
not one of the longest. He's got to be the longest, Drew.
And he still harbours a little desire to be a punt kicker over there in the NFL, doesn't he?
You see him kick from one suburb to the other, as you alluded to just a moment ago. But this man is very skillful with the football, Darren Jarman. He sets it up for Goodwin. Hand pass in turn. Sikalala goes for goal. Kicks it into the square. Yes, McLeod's got his second. No, as he paid the mark, the umpire. He came in at the last minute, and Vardy not happy. And umpire Colin Rouston has emphatically made this decision in favour of Brenton Sanderson. It may have been a free kick. I don't quite know whether he held it long enough. Welsh not able to mark the ball. It comes back towards centre wing. The race is on between Burns and Bickley. Bickley does well, stands his ground and gets it off to Crowell. Crowell into the centre of the ground. Nigel Smart loves to run with the footy. Tries to take it wider still for Eccles. Eccles into the pocket. That was touched off the boot. McGregor smothered back there by Milburn. Still Vardy, Sanderson and McGrath and Harley. Misunderstanding between the Geelong defenders right in front of the Adelaide goal. And you can see here the boys not prepared to gather and handball out. It's kicked forward by Johnson. That might be a goal to the Crows. Kicked by Kane Johnson.
Sorry, mate.
Curls, by the looks of the flags, this breeze has got stronger since the game started.
Yeah, it's getting quite cold down here too, and as you say, the breeze has not dropped away, but with the running game today, the players are not unduly affected by that.
And the Cats have it at their backs, but at the moment, the Crows leading by 12 points. Hand passes beautifully knocked down. Goodwin off the left boot. Rashudo at full stretch. Slides away the hand pass. Sikalella through the middle. Good football. Off to Biglands. Biglands goes long. It's away to the left and goes out of bounds on the bounce in the left forward pocket.
You know, in that passage of play, just a hand on the football by Simon Goodwin was just so important around the middle of the ground here on centre wing. He touched it, turned it over. Adelaide are in attack. On the other hand, if he doesn't touch it, it goes down the other end and Geelong are a chance to kick a goal.
Hey, keep your eye on Sikalala, boys. He's a real little young goer.
Yeah, it looks good. Now we've learned how to pronounce his name. Does help, doesn't it? Chance here for the Cats to break out of defence. Corrigan, he kicks over the wing up towards half forward. Stoneham works the ball down to Ronnie Burns. Open forward line, nobody in the goal square, but either is the ball. It's out in the forward pocket. That's a poor effort from Ronnie, who's been the leading goal kicker for the last 3 years at the club, and he should have nailed that.
I was having a bit of a chat to a couple of the Western Bulldogs boys on Friday night out at Waverley. They played Essendon, and the comment was made that that's one of the areas that we haven't improved our game in. Ronnie Burns has missed a target of 21 metres. There's 7 metres between the two behind posts and 7 between the goal posts. They'll get a goal here, won't they? No, Snell not able to get a good foot on it, and Ben Hart to tidy up. The ball close to the line. It's over on the full, although Peter Riccardi had taken the mark, so Geelong will go back into attack. Riccardi kicks in towards half forward in the direction of Graham. It hits the front of the pack. Hall was good, gets a big kick at the ball, and it comes around with the breeze but through for another behind to Geelong. So Geelong not getting the rewards for their efforts in the last minute or so. A couple of behinds, 1 goal 3. They trail Adelaide, who are 3 goals 2, margin 11 points.
Edwards kicks in. Rashudo takes the mark, defensive 50.
Having an influence on the game, Rashudo, he'll have to be quietened down a bit.
And don't the crowd love him? They yell out the woo every time he gets near the ball. Gee, that was a poor kick, though, straight to the opposition. The centering ball to Stoneham now, front edge of the centre square. Breeze behind, but he still wouldn't kick the distance. He's looking for Graham, who's outnumbered 2-1. In the direction of Graham. It comes to the front. A rover wanted. Hall missed it. It's flipped out beautifully by Arnott. Back to Hall. Wide out in the pocket. He can't screw it back enough. And it's through for a minor score.
Well, there's a lot of people in modern footy today wonder why so many loose players are available to be used. With the running game so strong to now, when like Rashudo got the ball in and every player took off, and of course the ball didn't find its target, and the rebound, Geelong had loose players everywhere.
Talking about Rashudo, he's had 7 possessions and he's at the bottom of this pack with Darren Milburn. Wojcinski knocks it forward. Arnott, deliberate shot at goal by Simon Arnott. This time Geelong are accurate and they get the goal.
West End draft, thanks, mate.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Great job out there today, fellas.
Okay, Russ. So, how's it going? It's done. It's done.
So, what's the story?
Hey, what good's a pub if you can't watch the footy?
David Wojcinski there with the hand pass. set up the goal. He's very quick. Wait till you see him in open space, Robbo. He'll burn the turf. He's like an Andy McLeod. Terrific. Sikalella here. And Curls has told us to watch out for him, and he's getting plenty of it. Riccardi, a high ball, inside centre half forward, and the mark is taken back in defence. Out wide it comes. Johnson in between half-back and wing. Looking for a bit of movement up forward. Jarman being covered by Bizzle. Bizzle leaves Jarman to mark. Did pretty well, Clint Bizzle, the former Queenslander. He kicks towards centre half forward. Graham, into his back. Got to be a free kick to Graham. And this stab passing distance, advantage is played, and they hurriedly go on with it and kick the goal. Arnott. So Biscuits has got a couple in a hurry. And the Cats are in front by 2 points.
And he's been pretty good value for Geelong since crossing from the Sydney Swans about 18 months ago. And it was, again, I mean, importantly, it's a penetrating kick that the free kick was awarded to Ben Graham. We see there the replay of the incident, but the umpire giving Simon Arnott the opportunity to play on with the advantage. No whistle blown, of course, which is what we're trying in the Ansett Cup series. And Perry is on the boundary line. He delivered the ball from the half-back line, and it looks as though he may have hurt a finger in that little passage of play before Simon Arnott was able to kick the goal. The bounce, big lands. McLeod not able to break away. He may just be a little unsure of himself. Edwards couldn't get clear, neither could Corrigan. Now the opportunity with Snell. Snell kicks it forward. It bounces awkwardly right across the half-forward line. Arnott again, gathered by Goodwin. Hand pass ineffective. Riccardi beautifully weighted. First of all, the vision, and then the execution. 10 out of 10 by Peter Riccardi. He's been quite dominant around the midfield for Geelong.
And now we just saw Shane Allen, who's come on to replace Pirri on Stoneham. The cardinal sin of a defender, you don't leave your man to anticipate.
Well, Barry Stoneham may make him pay here because he's only got to kick the ball about 45 metres. He gets out to the right, looking for the breeze to have an effect on the ball. It doesn't. Scores are behind. So Geelong, they're 3 goals 4. Leading Adelaide 3-2. They're 3-5, leading Adelaide 3-2. And Ben Hart kicks in the direction of Johnson. The ball going over just as he was about to collect it. The boundary umpire will throw it in about 55 metres around from the Geelong goal. I repeat that Geelong, maybe with the aid of the breeze in this first term, they're 3-5. Adelaide are 3-2.
And from the boundary throw-in, the ball straight back out of bounds for another throw-in.
That is definitely the end to be kicking because it is the preferred end. But they're still playing very good football, Geelong.
Well, when you saw the goal that Simon Arnott kicked, that's the sort of goal Ronnie Burns should have kicked. Ronnie was under less pressure and missed everything. So that could finish up being expensive. Comes to Snell here. He gets the hand pass away. Here's Ronnie. He's missed another one.
Now that is sacrilegious in a game of football. He gets paid for, first of all, getting a minimum number of possessions. And when you get them, you just have to capitalise. At the other end of the ground, if you gave it to Darren Jarman in that circumstance, he makes you pay. He just makes you suffer.
So Hart takes the kick in, and the Cats leading by 4 points, but a couple of attempts by Ronnie Burns could have had this lead out to a much bigger margin. McLeod to Rasciuto, and the Roo has been dominant in midfield. Just a little bit of a half volley to McGregor. It comes to Wojcinski. Forced onto his wrong hand, gets it to McGrath, and he keeps it in low. McGrath comes back for the old 1-2. Across to the broadcast side, and it just reaches Riccardi. Centre circle job. Kicked by Peter Riccardi. Graham is there. Front of the pack. Sikalella. And eventually Johnson for the Crows. Round the corner he comes with the kick. Bounce sits up nicely for Eccles. Interception. And Riccardi lines up and punishes them.
Well, Drew...
The typical working day. You greet your co-workers. You have your first coffee. Just as you're about to settle in, it happens.
It's a bomb!
Smoke and debris is everywhere.
Nick?
Rosenbonner inside.
They could die.
They think that there could be more. That's the evacuation signal.
In the movie-length series Return, who will survive the shocking aftermath?
They were inside, all of them, during the second explosion.
All Saints, Tuesday on 7.
So back in the centre, Geelong have hit back in the latter part of this first term. Adelaide had kicked 3 goals to 1, and Geelong have kicked the last 3. Over the top there is Milburn looking for the free kick against Rashudo, having a chat to the umpire.
And you think Riccardi is saying to the officials, the captaincy won't worry me?
No doubt.
Well, he is. I don't know whether we've mentioned that, Curls, but I think you did, Drew, that he's acting captain tonight.
Yeah, he wants the job, no risk.
Well, that's Bizzle for Geelong. Good kick. Milburn, Burns. Now, Ronnie, you're in midfield. You'll probably put this on the chest of someone. Lowther just messed it up a little bit, but he's got time to recover. Graham. This will be a goal, won't it? Ben Graham. Magnificent left foot kick. Straight through the centre. Ben Graham, goal. Well, that's the sort of football that wins matches. No worry about that. He gathered the ball, the hand pass from his teammate Milburn to Burns. Look at Ronnie. He has kicked that with precision, so he can do it. Let's wait and see what happens in the remaining 3 quarters. Lowther worked hard there to get the ball to Graham, and Graham effortlessly has kicked the ball 55 metres for a goal.
Oh, it's their running game too, Ian. The Geelong boys are doing extremely well, and their forwards are finding space. They're not being attended to correctly.
Riccardi up to 8 possessions. Geelong inside 50, 13 times to 10. So the goals have come in groups, and the Cats now have kicked 4 in a row. Corrigan. Graham on the lead. Beautiful kick. And Ben Graham could become an outstanding full forward. And his previous coaches have used him mainly at full back, and we know he can kick it nearly to the centre of the ground. But he's kicked 5 last week. He's lining up for his 2nd here, and he could be a real surprise packet for the Cats this year.
Important player in the midfield. Milburn has had a couple of clearances.
Graham, never in doubt.
Ally McBeal. She's been described as loving, romantic, caring and sensitive. How 90s. This century, Ally's gonna show you things you've never seen before.
You hot little biscuit.
You'll judge the new series of Ally. Guilty.
For being too sexy.
She's back Monday, 8:30 on 7.
Ben Graham has kicked 2 goals. Simon Arnott has kicked 2. Geelong have their 6th on the scoreboard. They lead by 22 points. Over the top there was Yerbury. Umpires found a free kick. It may go to the Crows youngster. No, it's going back to Jarman by the look of it. Now, that was not given back to him cleanly on the full. So as a result of that indiscretion, Darren Jarman may give us the chance to witness his ability with the football, kicking-wise, because he's right in front. And the umpire was quite generous with that meterage.
I've written this down for a goal already.
That's worse than indiscretion. That's stupidity by the Geelong boy.
He doesn't miss those. Darren Jarman kicks his first goal of the game. Adelaide get their 4th, and it is 16 points the margin. 42 plays 26. 2.5 minutes left in the first term. Just looks as though he's, I think he's been referred to as the Rolls-Royce of football. Put him in top gear and he's a genius, but you wonder sometimes whether he ever gets there. But his polish is exemplary as far as usage of an oval ball is concerned.
Well, last year Darren Jarman kicked 58 goals, which was a personal best, better than he'd ever done before with Adelaide or at Hawthorn. And if he gets enough of it, he can absolutely krill you.
Well, 2 goals a game can get you up to 22 matches, can get you to 44. So, you know, 2.5 goals a game is probably what they're looking for from a player of his quality.
Bickley gets the hand pass out to Rashudo. Rashudo and Riccardi interesting in the middle. Back to Jarman. He approaches the 50 on the run. That is perfection, DJ. It held up a little bit on the breeze, but I think it's home. And wouldn't you love a Rolls-Royce? Just put it into overdrive and say, I'm going for a cruise in the country.
Like a sleeping giant too, wasn't he? I don't think we'd called him for a little while. According to our statistician, he's had 3 of Adelaide's 6 centre clearances in this first term. Geelong have had 3, but Rashudo really gave him the chance here. Out in the open, one bounce, beautifully balanced, and pumped that. Absolutely pumped that right to the line, and the Geelong player stretching, not able to get a fingertip to it before it cleared the goal line through for Adelaide's 5th goal. So Yeobury doing the ruck work, but King does well down to Milburn. Milburn's kick will be marked, and it is by Snell. Snell kicks it forward, but the mark taken by Ben Hart. Ben Hart, experienced campaigner in defence, gets it out wide. This looks like Byrne, who's come onto the ground for Adelaide. And if he doesn't look like a Tony Modra model look-alike, well, we don't know. Jarman again, handball, McLeod, he's confronted and well tackled by Clark. Hall, out wider still. Running onto it is Allen, he's tackled by Arnott. Nigel Smart looked to give the hand pass away, played on, kicked it into the pocket. McLeod not able to take the mark. But look at the cat-like recovery of Andrew McLeod. Short kick into the pocket. Chance here now for McGregor. Gives it away. Vardy shot at goal. He's nearly made it too. With a screw punt kick. It went through from behind, but there was some opportunity there for Peter Vardy. Not able to capitalise. He's kicked 1 goal 2 in that Adelaide scoreline of 5 goals 3.
How about this for a game of football? Some of the skills, and we're just in the first week in February.
You're right, Drew. This is full on down here. These boys are having a real red-hot go.
Oh, I love it. It's just fantastic to watch.
Well, people are worried about playing early football. Wouldn't you rather watch a game like this than internal trials?
No doubt. Absolutely no doubt.
This is Tom Harley from the back pocket. Up towards centre wing. Stoneham with a big lead. Looks pretty good this year, Big Barry. Jarman with the hand pass back to Connell. Centering ball. Catch well placed here. And the mark is dragged down by Milburn. Harley coming down the broadcast side through McGrath. Very high ball. Breeze gets hold of it. Bit of interference before the ball arrived. Arnott did well and was buried straight away, and the umpire's going to throw that in the air.
This is where Geelong, as we've seen over the years, are very, very good in their rebound structure. They really do set the play up.
Late in the first quarter, not much wind-assisted time left for the Cats. They lead by 9 points. It'll be a free kick here to Rashudo from half-back.
Two tough boys against each other, Mark Rashudo and Darren Milburn.
Hart sweeps about a 25-metre hand pass across to Allen, and the siren beats the Crows in possession. Terrific first quarter. It seesawed. We had 11 goals, and there were some easy misses. We could well have had 15 or 16 goals in that quarter. The football was outstanding. The Cats 6-6 to 5-3 at the first change.
Yes, well, Geelong got the first goal through a very positive attack with Stephen King taking a great mark. Adelaide got away to a couple of goal advantage, and then it was Geelong, which had probably 8 minutes of the play in the middle part of the quarter, but pretty even at quarter time.
Hope you're enjoying it at home.
This news update brought to you by Colonial. Your home, your loan, your way.
Good evening. A $5 million cannabis haul near Virginia this afternoon is certain to have an effect on the street trade of marijuana. More than 2,000 plants were found concealed in a glass house. They'll be destroyed later this week. A market gardener has been arrested over the seizure. And Port Power's campaign has been dented with the loss of key defender Shane Bond for 6 weeks. Warmer tomorrow, 33 degrees. Enjoy the big game here on 7. Good night.
Scouts Honour. Colonial is the only one that can give you a home loan at just 5.75%. That stays low.
Scouts Honour.
Done.
Colonial, your home, your loan, your way.
At Pizza Haven, we've always been great at making pizza, but our advertising guru said, if you want to get Pizza Haven noticed, maybe you should try shock tactics. Thank goodness we know how to make great pizza.
Well, it all started with my dad back in the 1940s.
Hey, Waller, can I borrow your mixer? Nah, but I'll hire it to you.
But it wasn't until 1963 that the business really took off. And that's when our relationship with the Commonwealth Bank started. They've been involved with all our activities ever since. So last year, when we saw an opportunity to expand into Adelaide, of course we turned to them. Mike, can I borrow $14 million?
No, but I'll hire it to you.
Looking to grow your business? Call 13 1998.
Get all the weekend action fresh from the field in sport on Monday. Your health, fitness and fashion. Fresh ideas in lifestyle every Tuesday. Great taste, it's what South Australia's famous for, and it's hot off the presses in food and wine on Wednesday. Plus all the latest local news and world news. Fresh every day. The Advertiser. Fresh daily.
So Colonial can give us a home loan at just 5.75% per annum. We've got a lot riding on this, Colin. You understand?
Colonial, your home, your loan, your way.
Good crowd at Football Park tonight on a perfect night for football, and so far we've had nearly a perfect quarter of football. It was great in the first period of play, and the Cats lead 6-6-42 to Adelaide 5 goals 3-33. Leading goal scorer for Geelong, Ansett, who kicked a couple in the first quarter, along with Graham, who kicked 2, and for the Crows, Jarman has kicked 2 goals. There's Bomber Thompson in his first season as a senior coach, having had experience under Kevin Sheedy at Essendon, and then last year with the Kangaroos under Dennis Pagan. And he gets a go now in his own right. Stephen King about to do the rucking. Here's Curls.
Alan, bit of a patchy quarter and missed a few goal-scoring opportunities.
Yeah, goal-scoring opportunities, but I thought our endeavour was fantastic. We were really working very hard, and with that we were very pleased with.
And any different this year? Any different this quarter?
Oh, look, you know, we hope to be able to emulate that and just be a little bit clean around the ball, get it on its way a little bit quicker, but apart from that, pretty much the same.
OK, back to you, Drew.
Thanks, Curls. Alan McConnell there, who was the Geelong assistant coach and coached Fitzroy to a number of league appearances. Gary Hocking started the game on the bench. He's out there.
I think he had a couple of goes at that, Alan McConnell, and he was on both occasions just trying to do the right thing by the old Fitzroy Football Club.
Yep. So we get underway at the start of the second quarter. King palms the ball down but can't find a rover. McLeod, for once, couldn't find a handle this time.
Buddha straight into it.
There's Jarman getting the tough ball in the middle, and I reckon the match committee would be really pleased to be seeing a bit of that. McGrath, he's gone! By gee, he aimed the hand pass, but it was unsuccessful.
I reckon if the tackler had been a more high-profile player, he may have been awarded the free kick.
Well, I reckon everything about that was signalled free kick to me. McGregor gets the hand pass away. Here's a chance for Yerbury, and it's all Geelong back in defence. And McGrath takes the mark. Away to Scholl. He breaks from the back pocket. Very wide. Milburn can't reach it. Oh, he did well. Kept it in. Struck me. It was amazing. And then Snell walked the ball over the line, and it comes back for a throw-in.
It's becoming more and more a game of centimetres, isn't it? I mean, just there where Darren Milburn was nearly able to keep the ball in, and Jason Snell handballing it forward, and it must have been only over the boundary line by a matter of centimetres. So Peter Riccardi able to take the ball away from the resultant boundary throw-in. Nigel Smart, handball away. Bickley trying to straighten up and gets well onto his right boot and kicks it down towards half forward. Attempted mark down here in front of us by McGregor. Gathered by Milburn. Goes close to the line again. Harley's little kick is good and finds Burns. Ronnie Burns right on centre wing here at Football Park. Pretty good conditions. Slight breeze blowing. Beautiful ground conditions. This has got to be one of the best surfaces in Australian football right throughout the nation. Connell gets it down in front of us there to Allen. Knocked forward in the finish there by Milburn again. Gathered by Smart. Handball over the top finds Tyson Edwards. Edwards kicks into the middle of the ground. There's a chance now for Hocking, gets it away to Arnott. Arnott goes straight towards goal, good kick. In the direction there of Graham, nearly gathered by Riccardi. Adelaide Crows defence under a bit of pressure, but Connell able to pump it back towards centre wing.
And from the logo, it's knocked forward to Burns. Blind handball, awkward half volley for Hocking. He goes to ground. McLeod goes without the football. Hocking might have dragged that ball in while he was on the ground. Burns gets the hand pass away. Arnott inside the 50, but the kick slightly off the side of the boot. And it's a chance for Ellen, who's immediately bowled over in a tackle. In the back, said the umpire, advantage. Comes away to Connell. Oh, good leap up on centre wing. And the mark taken by Goodwin. Away to Johnson. Long ball to full forward. Couldn't complete the mark, Jarman. Vardy gets the hand pass away. It clean bowls Yerbury. Oops, the backwards hand pass by Geelong almost set up a goal to the Crows. Aren't they going in hard? And that's in the back, and it's going to be a free kick to Geelong.
I think he was rewarded there for his second and third and fourth efforts, Riccardi. The hand pass that was a bit too fierce went astray. He went back in and made a contest out of it.
Goodwin, good mark.
So the football with Arnott. He kicks the ball in towards half forward. It's taken there by Graham. Gets it away now. His long kick towards the goal square. Contest back there now with the Crows defence combining. This is Edwards out very wide. Terrific mark taken by Connell. Close to the ground. Diving effort. Controlled it very nicely in the finish and then delivered beautifully to the chest of Darren Jarman. He's still in his defensive half, but not for much longer. Johnson, Rashudo. Rashudo will put them within scoring range. Lobs the ball in towards half forward. It clears the players in that area of the ground. Bizzle confronted by Welsh. Still Welsh. Still Welsh. Vardy will get the goal. Well done, Welsh.
Commodore is #1 on the track and #1 on the road. Holden Commodore, drive on.
The skills these days. Vardy had the ball for about 0.3 of a second. And he moved it from his hands to his boot for a goal. Just great stuff. 3 points the margin here as Adelaide come back. They have the breeze in this second term. Jarman applying the tackle in midfield, and it spills back out to Jarman. The whistle's now gone.
Well, that's Milburn diving on it and then trying to handball the ball clear.
So it'll come back to Darren Jarman for the free.
It's only just players getting used to. I mean, if you've been doing this instinctively through your childhood in the underage and then through senior football for a number of years, it's going to be pretty difficult to get out of that routine, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, Rashudo will take the free.
Mark Rashudo coming up for possession number 12.
Burning. Just behind the centre circle, half-distance pass to Edwards. Taking a while to set up. Pretty crowded on the forward line. The Cats defenders have got back there. In fact, nearly all 36 players are in one half of the ground. Big mark needed. Unsuccessful. Comes down to King, who plays the role of rover. Spills to the front to Graham. Graham thumps it long to Stoneham. There's nobody in front of Barry Stoneham. He's got about 70 metres to goal. They have to run forward. It's a little bit like Pagan's paddock, what's going on here.
Beautiful bodywork, though, with the mark.
Yeah, it was. Stoneham wide to Burns. Maybe once he got there, he should have taken that as well. Connell in trouble. Spins in and out of it. Edwards the same. Back to Connell. They worked it well in defence. Centre wing. McGrath worked it well. McGregor. Off the ground, Riccardi. Well, it was a kick and hope. And the mark taken by Ellen, back at half-back for the Crows. He comes out wide to Goodwin. 42-39 in favour of the Cats, second quarter. Kicked by Goodwin. Oh, Vardy had it spent before he took the mark. McGregor fires the hand pass. Interception by King. And King into the breeze with pretty good distance to the front edge of the centre square. Ellen in trouble. Might be a chance here for the Cats. Hall gets it out. Arnott looking for his third. Nobody in the goal square. But Bickley gets back.
And Mark Bickley, plenty of time there to steady and kick it out wide. Overrunning it was Connell, gathered by Arnott. He's got plenty of time. He just puts it up in the air, and Gary Hocking straightforwardly marks it. He's took about 3 kicks from goal, though, Gary Hocking. Player on the mark is about 80 metres from the Geelong goal. Hocking lobs the ball in towards half forward. Nearly a Geelong mark. It might be paid to the man in front, Hall. He wants the man in front. And the young fellow, Tyson Stingline, perhaps erring there. Only 2 in the contest. Have another look at Hall in front. The young fella for Adelaide behind. Took it out of his hands at the finish. And I would suggest that the umpire has made the right decision there.
Yes, you've got to be certain if you're coming from behind that you can mark the ball.
Derek Hall has kicked a couple of behinds, and he's going for goal from about 35. His kick on this occasion is offline. So 3 behinds against the name of Derek Hall so far in this match. We're into the second term by about 7 minutes, and presently Geelong lead by 4 points.
Yeah, I've talked about Ronnie Burns, but Derek Hall's kicked 3 behinds, Burns 2. So between those players, 5 behinds, no goals. Now they need to be snapping it. Up towards centre wing, juggled by King, couldn't quite take the mark. Johnson under pressure. Stengline bowled over in a good tackle by Stoneham, and the umpire will come in and throw it up.
Fellas, here we go for the interchange for the Crows. Crowell, Costa, James, Stingleton, Eccles, Biglands, Sick O'Lella, and Bowen.
Thanks, girls. Johnson gets the hand pass away to Byrne. James Byrne inside the 50 with his kick. Punch by Scholl. Corrigan just gets boot the ball but hasn't cleared the area. Byrne again. Looks like Modra. Where's Modra's old number? The hand pass away to no one in particular, but eventually it reaches Johnson. Johnson standing start. Jarman, it clears him. It mightn't have been touched. A goal, Johnson.
Restaurant, a casino.
What are you doing? On first draw.
Well, we won't have to action it back. Why do you think we hired the ledge?
Smartest move we ever made.
Oh, no, it's a drinks break. You better set them up.
Yeah, it's about that time.
West end of the day.
Great knock, Ledge.
It's the west end of the day.
Well, I think if James Byrne, I don't want to be the bearer of sad tidings, but if he ever gives this away, he'll get a job as a model. No doubt about that. James Byrne, he did a good job there to get the ball to Kane Johnson.
Doesn't pay as much as football these days.
Well, you just never know.
Fellas, Geelong not using their bench a great deal at this stage. They've made 2 in the change to the Crows 8.
So the ruck contest. Spriggs is on the ground. He couldn't gather the ball, but a strong mark taken at half back by Perry. Perry gets the ball across to Allen. Allen ducks back, nearly ducked back into trouble, able to get back onto his right boot, kicks the ball in towards half forward. Geelong defence punch it away, kicked forward there by Corrigan, but the mark is taken by Bickley. Bickley on centre wing. Lobs the ball high towards half forward. They're not really getting a lot out of that position at the moment, Adelaide. It's their smaller players swooping on the ball. And on this occasion, it's a taller player. Nigel Smart bombs away and misses to the left, behind to Adelaide. So they are now 7-4 to 6-7. They lead by 4 points. 3 points, actually.
And Gary Hocking on the ground for Geelong, as we can see, but he has a great record, or playing record, on this ground. He normally performs extremely well.
Well, we'll watch him pretty closely. We become accustomed to that. He's only had a couple of kicks so far, but he's been in and underneath the bottom of a couple of packs. Bickley wide. Byrne. On this occasion, Riccardi outplayed him. Gary Hocking, with a deft little left foot toe poke, has found the safety of the boundary line, where it will be thrown in between wing and right half forward, favouring Adelaide. They lead 7-4 to 6-7, the Crows. They have kicked a couple of goals in this term. Geelong goalless at this stage.
Biglands back on the ground. Their 2 ruckmen haven't played a league game between them, so it's a big task. with still Wren on the sidelines, and Matthew Clark from the Brisbane Lions still to make his debut for the Adelaide Crows, and also Marsh to come back. Here's Goodwin taking a fair run at this. Might want to hoist this high with the breeze and see what happens. Top of the square, Bizzle spoils Jarman. It comes to Riccardi. Round the boundary line he goes with a good kick, and the mark taken by Lowther. Into Bizzle, running off Jarman. Slides the hand pass. Riccardi for the second time. He's had plenty of touches. Hall sandwiched, and the whistle was going to be an advantage. Now it's no advantage, so the umpire says, Hall, take your kick. So Derek Hall has had 3 shots at goal for 3 behinds. Stoneham caught behind. Good mark.
Just maybe too far out. The player on the mark is about 45 metres from goal.
Barry Stoneham into the breeze. This will test him. Out across in front of goal. Graham keeps his feet. Worked to the line by Edwards. And a throw in the pocket.
Even at this stage, with only 2 games played, the Crows are showing they have a real problem at centre-half back. The opposition have been dominating that position in 2 games so far.
While you were talking, we just saw an interesting statistic on the screen that Geelong's last goal came at the 23.5-minute mark of the first quarter. As I said just a moment or so ago, they've yet to kick a goal in this second term. Adelaide kicked 5 goals in the first term at that right-hand end of screen.
McGrath off with a big cut. He's going down to be stitched up.
Well, he's always been a blood nut, but that's taking things to an extreme.
Yep. Well, the boundary throw-in will be about 35 metres around from the Geelong goal. They're a chance to score. Well played by Allen. Connell tackled by Hall, but able to get the hand pass away to Goodwin. Goodwin down the ground. Now that should be a free kick, surely. Against Simpson on McGregor. Umpire has called play on. Gets back to Bigley. Connell, Goodwin, well done. Combination there was very good and has given Scott Welsh the chance to kick a goal for Adelaide. His first real opportunity, although he did give a hand pass a little earlier in this quarter to allow Peter Vardy to kick a goal.
Ian, if you're a half-back flanker minding a player like McLeod, it'd be a very, very tough contract to contain him. He's just got so much blistering pace.
Like trying to keep hold of an eel, I would think. Welsh from about 35. He's a good kick at goal. And he's made no mistake on this occasion. It's a goal to Scott Welsh.
With Telstra's EasySaver, local calls have been slashed to only 18 cents. The Telstra 18-cent local call will have everyone talking. For 18-cent local calls, call 132200 today.
Listerine is clinically proven to kill the germs that cause bad breath, plaque and the gum disease gingivitis. In fact, it kills over 1 million germs in seconds. Listerine. It's dynamite against germs.
Mensch on the ground for Geelong.
And Steinfort came on as well. Ball back in the middle. King wins. Down to Byrne. And Geelong, who've just managed 1 behind in this quarter, need to get some football going.
Very important stat here. Adelaide 43 disposals in this quarter to 26. And stressing that 9 uncontested marks to Adelaide in this term.
Corrigan to take the free for the Cats. They want a mark on the forward line. Hall has a run at them.
This is where Burns has got to be.
Yep. Ronnie's got to be roving those packs. Smart gets the hand pass out. Connell can't keep it in, and we'll have a throw in.
He's down there in the area of where that mark was contested, but just not able to get close enough to the base of the pack. He's had 7 possessions, Ronnie Burns, too.
So in that position on the field, you reckon by the time he'd had 7, you might have kicked a couple of goals?
Well, I think we've had a little dip at him because it was in that first term that he had 2 chances that he probably should have converted. I know it's easy up here, but for a small player on the forward line, playing that sort of game, if you get the opportunities, you must capitalise.
But you've got to realise too, with a forward or any player, when when he's running to anticipate off hands, he's chosen his path to run, and you know the ball's not always going to go in that area.
Fair comment. 52 plays 43. Adelaide lead by 9 points. The umpire throwing it in the air about 60 metres from the Geelong goal. Taken away by Bickley. Bickley, Sanderson flew high. Should be a free kick. Interfered with the player in front, which was James, as he flew for the mark. And Geelong make a change. Hall off. And number 43, Danny O'Brien. Now on the mark of Mark Rashudo, who is on centre wing. He kicks down the line. It's taken here by Gallagher. Gallagher, ducking, weaving, able to get the kick away, hooks it in the finish into the pocket, and sets it up for the Geelong defenders to knock the ball away from Scott Welsh and company down there, over for a boundary throw-in. 52 plays 43, a 9-point advantage for Adelaide, and we've got 4.5 minutes left in the first half.
Oh, clean possession taken by Welsh, and he tried to charge through the pack, but there was nowhere to go. So the Cats are able to clear. That's a shocking kick, which holds up. Chance here for the Crows. Oh, Jarman, one-touch football and perfect delivery. And Hart on the 50, Breeze behind.
That's the full back down there.
Well, once again, we've got 36 players in one half of the ground.
Kick a goal, this kid, Money. It's a good kick.
Off just about his best season. Won the club best and fairest. Third time All-Australian. And he gets the distance, gets the goal.
We watch it, talk it, live it, and love it. Sport. But could you correctly answer 10 questions about it for $1 million? For $1 million. Wednesday, 7:30, Channel 7's $1 million game returns, and we're playing like never before. Phone now for the chance to put your love of sport to the test, and you could be one of the first playing Channel 7's $1 million sporting chance of a lifetime. The game begins Wednesday, 7:30.
So Adelaide now have kicked 4 goals in this term. Geelong goalless, and the margin 15 points in favour of Adelaide after they trailed by 9 at quarter time. And it's a free kick. Geelong indiscretion at the square. So Johnson
paid a few frees tonight
to kick Adelaide forward. Out in front there of the leading player in Welsh. It spills to the back. Harley trying to just create a path, but McLeod was just like a little fox terrier biting at their ankles there to try and hold the ball in. Now Steinfort kicks the ball to half forward. Rashudo, smart. How many times do we call that in a game of football? Bickley in there as well, and Jarman. That midfield, the engine room of the Crows, still very experienced. Kick forward by James. It's a mark. Oh, misunderstanding. They'll get the goal anyway, won't they? Kane Johnson. He nearly fell over, but he got his boot onto it and he's kicked the goal.
It ended the year with one of the most powerful cliffhangers ever seen.
I want you to be my wife.
Now, the new series is everything you hoped for.
He's back. Have dinner with me. I'm a good cook.
TV's best drama, The Practice, Monday, 9:30.
It's all about roses. He told me that he loved me by shoving a rose up his bottom. It was a bit wilted by the time I got it.
It's all about them, and it's all about you.
Sex. Yeah, she's mad for it.
Cold Feet.
Why wouldn't she be?
Soon on 7.
Kane Johnson now the leading goal scorer on the ground with 3. I mentioned the free kicks. Adelaide have had 8 to Geelong's 4. Ball back in the centre. Well, King waited in time. Didn't even have to jump. He just stood there and took the ball out of the middle. Got a big edge and experience on the ball. Here's a chance. Lowther. Lowther shot for goal. Cats desperately need it. They've done nothing into the breeze this quarter. And Mensch, the ball over the boundary line.
Bound on for his first run for the Crows, replacing Welsh.
The Cats have managed just 1 behind in this quarter. And the Crows have kicked 5 goals, 1.
Yeah, the breeze is getting a little stronger.
Stone him up, but Hart beat him to the punch. Comes to Connell. He's kicked back towards centre wing. McLeod, and this will be interesting if McLeod can get behind the defence. Well, he does, but the Cats have got the ball. Oh, now McLeod's got it. A very poor hand pass, virtually set him up. James with a handball. It sits for Jarman. This will be a goal. Just great to watch. The underground goal.
what did you say about Vardy having the ball for 0.3 seconds? But he doesn't have to have it for 0.3, does he? That was just absolutely... I mean, again, it's Darren Jarman, but Andrew McLeod was instrumental as well. James unselfish. Maybe Darren Jarman a little favoured by the bounce, but you make your own luck, don't you? And finishing, he is just first class. Better than first class, if there's such a thing.
Oh, world class. He kicked it under Bizzle's armpit.
I think he did too. You're a very good perception there. So 2 minutes left in the first half. 11-4 to 6-7. 6 goals now to Adelaide in this term, holding Geelong goalless so far. Umpire has decided on another ball up. Sorry, Curls.
It's fine. Ian, something we haven't mentioned, the boundary line here at Football Park has been taken in about a metre or a bit, and the players can really run hard and strong at the ball to the boundary line, knowing there's no fear of crashing into the fence.
OK. The umpire's found a free kick here. It's Rashudo. Well, you can do whatever you like to mark Rashudo. He'll keep bouncing back up again. He's had 16 possessions in a shortened game of Ansett Cup. So that's so far as a 32 possession game, which would be just quite tremendous from the midfielder. Bizzle tackled by McLeod, and Andrew McLeod right onto Clint Bizzle there, going nowhere. So Adelaide a chance to score, going down into the last minute before half-time. Ruck contest, Big Lands down to McGregor. Just missed it, did McGregor, and eventually just a little left foot toe poke there by Stephen King has forced a boundary throw in. Crows still a chance. You can see there the time remaining. 27 points now. It's a very, very healthy lead. Big Lands number 35. Stephen King to the front. Lowther. And Big Lands, Rec Big Lands, not able to keep the ball in.
Burns off for Corey for Geelong.
So it'll be interesting to see what Corey can manage here. He's that 17-year-old kid who starred in those test matches against Ireland last year. Sanderson takes the ball over the line. There's a good example, Curls, of what you're talking about. Sanderson had time to pull up, and he hit the fence, but not at a million miles an hour.
Yes, it's nearly as far in Odds as far in as Waverley.
Yeah, good point. Safety of players, all important. Riccardi, a hand pass over his shoulder, and a fumble by Lowther. Only get one touch at this ball, at this level, and the ball's out of play. 70 plays 43, and this was after the Cats led at quarter time by 9 points. A second quarter dominated by the Crows. Biglands did well, down to Johnson. Kick by Johnson, he's got another one.
Touch the post.
Grazed the post?
Just grazed the post.
Well, Biglands did pretty well there.
It's a lovely tap down.
Bizzle goes in short for Geelong and finds Scholl. Scholl forced to kick high and hope. No mark taken. Out of there went Harley. Gathered here by Spriggs. Little left foot kick is all right. Opportunity now. This is Corey. Corey for Geelong. Kicks towards full forward. But waiting down and reading that play off the pack was Ben Hart. Goes out wide to Connell. Connell is marked, but the siren has sounded. It's half-time at Football Park, and the Crows fans are happy because in the second term they dominated Geelong. They kicked 6 goals, 2 to 1 behind, and enjoy a 28-point advantage at the long break. Adelaide 11-5-71, Geelong 6-7-43. Darren Jarman and Kane Johnson have kicked 3 goals each, and for Geelong 2 goals each to Graham and Simon Arnott.
Great turn by the home side.
Thanks, Mum.
Hello, our forecast is for a fine, warm and hot day tomorrow right across the state. Taking a look at our local waters, southeast to east winds of 10 to 15 knots with an afternoon sea breeze of 15 to 20 knots. In the city, a fine and sunny day with a warm top of 33 degrees after an overnight low of 16. Looking ahead, up to a hot 38 for Tuesday, but good news for Wednesday and Thursday with slightly cooler conditions. Good night.
Lotus Elise 190, burning up Rome.
Adelaide International Raceway plays host to the West End Festival State Championships. It's top door slammers and the world final of Top Bike, with entrants from the US, Europe, Canada and Australia. And with Victor Bray chasing Adelaide's Dave Coop, you can bet Victor won't be holding back. It's the City Dismantlers Summer Series of Drag Racing. AIR this Saturday, February 12. Qualifying 9 a.m, eliminations 5 p.m.
Jaguar XJ220 con assetto da gara.
Well, it all started with my dad back in the 1940s.
Hey, Waller, can I borrow your mixer? Nah, but I'll hire it to you.
But it wasn't until 1963 that the business really took off. And that's when our relationship with the Commonwealth Bank started. They've been involved with all our activities ever since. So last year, when we saw an opportunity to expand into Adelaide, of course we turned to them. Mike, can I borrow $14 million?
No, but I'll hire it to you.
Looking to grow your business? Call 13 1998.
Subaru Impresa, Rally Edition.
Everybody's shouting at you, but isn't it time someone listened to you? There is a telecommunications company that does. A company that's not too big for the individual. A smarter choice. A down-to-earth approach. A better alternative. A friendly voice on the other end of the line. We don't just talk, we listen. Because what you want is most important. And we want you to tell us. Tell us you want it faster. Tell us you want it cheaper. Tell your friend happy birthday. Tell your granny you miss her. Tell Shane Warne he's your hero. Tell your parents it's a baby girl. Tell the world. Tell them you won the business. Tell someone you're sorry. Tell her you're coming over. Tell a whole group of people. Tell your friends overseas. And hopefully you'll tell them about us. Because we believe everyone should be talking. Tell your friends about OneTel.
Welcome back to Football Park, where it is at half-time in this second round game in the Ansett Australia Cup match between the Adelaide Crows and Geelong. What a second term the Crows had. They kicked 6 goals to 1 behind, and they lead 11-5-71 to 6-7-43. They certainly had the breeze, but they dominated as well. It wasn't just the wind that did it for them. Jarman and Johnson have kicked 3 goals each, and Vardy has kicked 2. And for the Cats, Ben Graham and Simon Arnott have kicked 2 goals each. Well, there's another game being played tonight, and that is at Waverley between the West Coast Eagles and Hawthorn. And it's a bit like this clash here tonight, where we have Gary Ayres coaching against his former club. Tonight at Waverley, it's Ken Judge, now in charge of the Eagles, and he's in charge against his old side. Let's see how they went. Let's take a look at the highlights so far.
Gets the ball out towards Fletcher. Hitting the ball hard is Crow. Jerd mentioned him as one of their bright sparks. Great kick, backing back. Like that was Hill, couldn't take it. Kicked off the ground by Crawford. He's kicked a goal.
And the Hawks able to get out of defence. And again, Salmon. Oh, but Gardner, you have to pay that mark. That was just terrific.
Rock barrels in, wins the hard ball. Mitchell White slung to the ground. Tony Woods. Really out of their best half dozen. Back to Smith. It's a good build-up by the Hawks, and he's got it. The Brownlow medalist, Crawford. I'd be looking to pass it off. Crawford, 45 metres out, bends it back.
There you are, out of the middle, Thompson getting a run in the ruck now. Tony Woods sends them back. Not long to go, as you can see in the corner, but they may get another chance. Very good, Dibber. He's going for the tour. We saw a big bomb last night here, and that is not a bad effort, but it's just going to drop short.
Hello.
Oh, no.
It's so familiar, Nick. The goal umpire's moment.
Unbelievable. It's a goal. Another chance for Crawford. This time he decides to go backwards with the handball to set it up into the goal square. Joel Smith lets it go, and Hartford's there to clean it up. They can do absolutely nothing wrong.
Didn't even look like Hawthorn and the West Coast Eagles to me, looking at those jumpers they're wearing tonight. Now, most of our stations are taking a replay of that after this. So if you don't wish to know the score, look away now. So later on, it will be Hawthorn and the West Coast in replay. But that's not all that's coming up on 7 Sport. And that's not even to mention the Davis Cup, with Australia needing to win both reverse singles tonight against Switzerland to advance on. So interesting, and a lot of sport coming up on 7 over the next few weeks. Hope you can stay with us for golf and all those other things, and of course the highlight later in the year, the Olympics from Sydney. We'll be back shortly.
In Blue Heeler's new season, one inescapable truth awaits you.
After this, you may no longer be a copper.
Maggie Doyle is leaving forever.
I don't have any choice.
She doesn't know when.
You think that you can just walk away from everything?
I have to.
It will be up to you to discover why she's going and how she leaves. From sadness grows a spirit you'll only find in Seven's new series of Blue Heelers. Wednesday, 8:30.
We know the value of help here at TD Waterhouse. That's why, as well as giving you all the share trading tools you need, we actually show you how to use them, which means investing effectively in the share markets has never been easier. TD Waterhouse, help is here.
Not down here, you can't.
Hyundai Elantra. Great. Big 1.8 litre twin cam.
There's a...
No, don't tell me. Remote central locking, aircon, CD player. Mister, you talked me into it.
At $19,990 drive away, the feature-packed Hyundai Elantra sells itself.
This is a glass, but looks just like crystal. No, it's $1. $1. And look at this. Divided glass bowl. Well, it's not a bowl, but it's a divided glass thingamywhat. Just $2. And, can't throw that one. And the big one, diamond cut glass, just $2. Fly spray, just $2, or 3 for $5. Dishwashing liquid, $1. Light up pens, $1. Lux soap, 3 packs of 5, just $5. 3-hour videotapes, $2.49.
The Adelaide Festival Centre has been widely recognised as a South Australian icon, a world-class performing arts venue. Now, the centre must move on. Your help is needed to ensure it remains state-of-the-art. To achieve this, the Adelaide Festival Centre Foundation has been established to raise funds for improved facilities and activities. Play your part in Act 2. Make your donation at any branch of Bank SA or the Adelaide Festival Centre.
Coles Better Buys are happening all this week with better choice, better quality and better savings. Like Coca-Cola soft drinks, only $1.27 each. Save 50 cents. Nescafe Blend 43 coffee, just $4.97 each. Save 92 cents. Chapman's Virginian 100% leg ham, $9.99 a kilo. Save $2.60 a kilo. And Huggies Nappies, $11.77 each. Save 74 cents. Plus, get the new issue of Australian Table magazine this week during Coles Better Buys. Coles, serving you better.
When it comes to buying a new kitchen, I do what any good weather presenter would do. I get a forecast from the experts. And for kitchens, the experts are JAG. JAG Kitchens continue to win awards both locally and nationally, including Kitchen Design Company of the Year. See 15 stunning displays in their world-class Keswick showroom where you can discover and see for yourself. All the latest features and colour selections. Whatever your budget, there's a Jag kitchen solution.
Half-time at Football Park, and the Crows dominated the second term. They lead 11-5-71 to 6-7-43. Well, during this Ansett Australia Cup, there's a trivia competition that can win you a trip around the country to follow your team, and Craig Willis has the details on how.
Ansett Australia, the official airline of the AFL, is running an exciting competition during the 2000 Ansett Cup called the Ansett Club Membership Trivia Competition. To be in the running, all you have to do is join your club or be a current member. Watch 7 Sports coverage of the Ansett Cup for the weekly membership trivia quiz questions. Then ring the membership hotline on 1300 367 001 and join your club, or quote your 2000 membership number. This week's question is, these 3 young champions all debuted in the same year of the Ansett Australia Cup and have now kicked on and soared to fantastic heights. Can you name the year? Was it A, 1992, or B, 1995? So ring 1300 367 001 and you could win some great prizes, including 2 people flying Ansett to 4 interstate games with their team during the home and away season, a double ticket to the Brownlow Medal and a night at the Hilton on the Park Hotel, and 2 tickets to your club's grand final breakfast and the 2000 grand final at the MCG, plus 16 runners-up prizes of a weekend trip to an interstate game, club merchandise, jacket and bag. So get on the phone now, see your team fly during the 2000 Ansett Cup and win.
And I can promise you Ansett will look after you. They do all right, don't they?
Oh, yes, I think that we've been looked after over a number of years now with Ansett Airlines, but I think Adelaide are looking after Geelong too at half-time in this match.
Taking good care of them.
Yes, there was a 37-point turnaround in that quarter. Adelaide kicked 6 goals too, and Geelong, it's significant that they were only able to kick 1 behind at the right-hand end of screen. Adelaide kicked 5-3 at that end in the first term.
All right, Robbo. Well, one of those players looking on is Matthew Robran. Unfortunately not playing tonight for the Crows. Here he is down on the boundary with curls.
Yeah, thank you, Drew. Well, Matty, a lot of all the Crows people will know about your slight abductor strain. How's it going?
It's coming on pretty good, thanks, Neil. I'm hoping to resume probably in about 2 weeks' time.
Next big question. Gary Ayres, the new coach. How's he settled in?
I think quite well. Everyone has responded to his methods very, very well at this stage. I think that the big plus for us is that he's not going to change the game plan much to what we've had over the last couple of years. So I think our basic structure is going to be the same. He'll have his own thoughts and ideas, which he's starting to implement, and we're starting to put them into practice.
Matthew, the young players, I watched last week's game and you introduced quite a few of them, and they've seemed to have kicked on even tonight. They're showing a lot of promise, the younger players.
Yeah, they have, Robbo. There's a couple of second-year players in Ian Perry, Tyson Stingline, David Gallagher, who are, I guess, starting to make a name at the club now, and they've got their opportunity to play under Gary. And I guess all the first-year players, there's quite a few getting an opportunity as well. The 2 boys in the ruck are acquitting themselves very well, and you've got the likes of Justin Sikalella and also James Byrne, who are really trying to impress.
How forward is Andy McLeod in his preparation? Because just a couple of his touches in that first half were sensational.
Yeah, they were, Drew. I think everyone realises just what a class player he is, and his pre-season has been a little bit interrupted with his knee problems, but his first touch with that first crumbing goal was typical Andrew McLeod, and he obviously hasn't lost any of the spark that he's shown over the last few years.
Now, Matty, you've just about got the best medical facilities in the league, I believe. It's just as well because about half the squad's in there.
Yes, it seems to happen this time of the year to us. There's quite a few boys that are still on the sideline, but I guess the good thing is that over the next probably 2-3 weeks, we're going to get probably the rest of the squad back on track, and everyone should be right for the first game, which is a bonus for us.
And you'll start getting some ruckmen back.
Yeah, it'll be, as I say, that Yerbury and Biglands are doing tremendously well, but I guess when you've got Clark, Marsh and Wren sitting on the sidelines, and they'll, as I say, due to resume in the next couple of weeks, it'll be a fight for that first ruck spot.
Beautiful. Now, Matty, I believe you have a junior membership drive going on. I don't know whether you can fit any more full members in, because you're just about chock-a-block there, aren't you? But anyway, the Crows are having a junior membership drive, and it includes coaching clinics, dance parties at Heaven nightclub. I've driven past, that's all. Invitation to a family day, and you can call now the Adelaide number 8440 6666. Matty, get some of your juniors in and join those Crows junior members, eh?
We'll be doing that. I mean, membership is terrific here, and we'll be pushing on.
All right, Matty, thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back pretty soon.
Thanks, guys.
Righto, thanks a lot.
This is the life source of our state. We've collected the most alarming footage of our river in crisis. If you care about our river and what it means to every one of us, you must see this 7 Nightly News special investigation.
Rugged, powerful and athletic. That's the legendary Jeep Cherokee. With standard air, auto and dual airbags, the Cherokee is now in reach at an incredible $111 a week. See your Jeep dealer while stocks last.
Adelaide International Raceway plays host to the West End Festival State Championships. It's Top Door Slammers and the world final of Top Bike, with entrants from the US, Europe, Canada and Australia. And with Victor Bray chasing Adelaide's Dave Coop, you can bet Victor won't be holding back. It's the City Dismantlers Summer Series of Drag Racing. AIR this Saturday, February 12. Qualifying 9 a.m, eliminations 5 p.m.
You're tuned to Ray on Reef Radio. Wishing farewell to my good buddy Franco, who's been lured across the ocean for a measly 100% pay raise. So, it's goodbye to sleepy old Tres Santos. You're gonna miss popping out for seafood. And I know you're gonna miss the way they serve Bacardi around here. But if you gotta go, you gotta go.
And now, from Bacardi, there's Cubano. Be one of the first to walk through the new Adelaide to Crafers highway tunnels. Tickets only through Bass are just $5 each, including booking fee. Free buses, courtesy of state government and Passenger Transport Board, will ferry all walkers to and from the tunnels. You also have a chance to win a new Mitsubishi Magna Executive V6 sedan. For bus travel details and Magna entry forms, see the advertiser. Organised by Rotary, supported by these organisations, with proceeds going to charity. The Mitsubishi Tunnels Walk, February 19th and 20th. Book at Bass.
If you'd put $1,000 into the Colonial First State Diversified Fund in 1990 and added just $200 a month since, you'd have over $50,000 today.
Saving isn't about the money that you put in. It's about making the money that's in there work harder. Use the power of wise investments to turn your savings into earnings.
Talk to your advisor about a regular savings plan that builds you an investment portfolio.
So, Hyundai Elantra. He is. I know. A 1.8 twin cam. And power windows, CD, air. You're a real smooth talker, mate. We'll take it.
At $19,990 drive away, the feature-packed Hyundai Elantra sells itself.
Connect long distance.
...24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For the power to connect long distance for longer, become a pre-selected Optus long distance customer now. Call 1-800-500-111.
On Today Tonight, dole bludging and proud of it.
Been on the dole for 18 months.
Getting paid welfare for doing nothing.
I enjoy myself.
And bragging about how they cheat the system.
Yeah, it's definitely easy. We're mugs and we're supporting them.
6:30 Monday.
Welcome back to Footy Park for the start of the second half. And pretty handy lead here to the Adelaide Crows, who lead by 28 points. No doubt Gary Ayres would have had stern words with them at half-time. Got the breeze this quarter. See what they can do. Curls?
Oh, yeah, they'd have to make their move this quarter, because if they leave it the last quarter, the game will be lost.
And away we go, with King beaten in the middle. He's done well there, Biglands. Not for the first time tonight, the youngster. Gallagher gets the hand pass away. Kick partly blocked. Taken by Scholl, but the whistle's gone. It's going to be a Crows free kick. And it comes back to Rasciuto, who's been the recipient of a few in midfield.
Didn't have the ball then.
Rasciuto to full forward. Well, Bizzle was in front. Came to Sanderson. And worked out by McGrath. Milburn, who started the season last year in great fashion, as the Cats did. They won their first 5 and remarkably lost their next 9. High tackle here to Scholl. He takes the free quickly. I'm not sure who he kicked it to. Well, Graham was a bit of a chance, but he had a fumble. Hart. Eventually through Ellen. Cross in front of goal. And it's pretty nicely done to Perry. Ian Perry, who played just 2 games last year for a total of 5 in 2 seasons after coming from WA. Johnson to Edwards. Up to centre wing. Pretty good use of the body there by Costa, getting his first run. Ball kept in. Bickley. Down the line he goes. Up towards half forward. McGrath. Might have taken one over the shoulder. Riccardi looking for the line. Didn't get it. Now, how's the umpire ruling this? The ball is pulled in, and it'll be a Geelong free to McGrath.
Costa on the ground for Adelaide too at the start of this second half. McGrath kicks the ball down the line. That's a spectacular leap and mark. I would have thought that it might have been Edwards. And that's the way it's going. Snell appealing for it, but Edwards had a good grip of it from behind. And on this occasion, it was the second in line that was paid the mark. Edwards kicks the ball high, knocked away by McGrath. To the front of the pack, Byrne couldn't control it. And now Byrne gets it back. Throws it onto his boot quickly. It's a wobbly old punt kick towards half forward. Little bit of a misunderstanding. Milburn combines with Harley. It goes wide. Bizzle maybe to run Jarman down. Can he? No. Left foot kick by Darren Jarman into the pocket. Back goes bound. He couldn't take the mark. It actually went over the line on the full. Darren Jarman a little disappointed with that, but there aren't too many errors in a Darren Jarman game, especially with disposal.
Yes, Ian, as expected, McLeod off. Gary Ayres was very, very pleased with his first half, and of course, so he should have been.
So the kick back to half-back for Geelong. Connell, who had a fair bit of the football in the first half, he is a prolific possession gatherer. Kicked off the ground there by Gary Hocking. Allen and Hall. Riccardi goes back. Second effort pretty good. Arnott tries to get the ball across here to Snell. In turn to Steinfort. Now Hall should kick a goal
Should
here.
be a goal here.
If Geelong are to win this game, he's got to kick this. And he has. He's capitalised with a goal.
Sorry, mate.
And the Cats need a lot more. They need to rush on some goals in this third quarter while they're with the wind. That Biglands has done it again on King. Well done.
You're doing well, Biglands.
Yeah. Through Corrigan it goes. Now Hocking. Kick by Hocking comes out wide towards centre wing. The mark not attempted by Corey. Tried to palm the ball down to his own advantage. Lost control of it. Goodwin. Good pick up here by Byrne. Kick towards the 50. Punch from behind by Harley. Gathered by Clark. Kick by Clark with the wind. He's got a bit of carry. Front of the pack, they want a rover again. Stoneham, not built like a rover, but he got it to Hall. Out wide, Graham. Got support from Snell. 45 metres out. Oh, kick smothered. Great football by Benny Hart. Oh, that's poise. Not quite taken by Ellen. He bounced off well to ride the bump. Up towards centre wing, but he's given it straight away, and the mark taken by Sanderson on the Ansett logo.
I'm sure, Curls, you'd like to see Derek Hall apply a tackle there.
Yes, I can't understand why players come in and try and shoulder a player when there should be a tackle. A tackle should be applied.
Just looks too obvious, doesn't it? Barry Stoneham has marked the ball. He's 55 metres from goal for Geelong. He'll pop it into the square. It's a mark. Is it a free kick? Not paid. Milburn's kicked the goal. It was a free kick.
And that's 50 metres, I'd say.
Yes, well...
Hey, while this is going on, Ian, one for you. Gary Ayres, you know, with his knowledge of the Geelong players, would he try and contain those players with some form of game plan in a match like this, or would he wait until the proper season starts?
I think he's trying to find out the ability of his players in these circumstances. I mean, I've seen Biglands grow in stature in 1.5 quarters of football.
Yeah, I think you're
just
right.
With confidence. And I think all Gary and his the fellow members of his coaching staff would be doing would be looking at the positives of his team. If they go down, they go down. Bad luck. But I think that's the way to be looking at it.
I think so.
They've got the ball at half forward. Connell dragged to the ground by Sanderson, Steinfort, McGrath. Now it goes out wider still. Derek Hall bumped off the ball by Shane Allen. Perry does well. He's getting a little bit more confidence too. Johnson takes the ball from Rashudo. A wobbly old punt kick, but it's been well marked down here in front of goal by Bown. Stuart Bown, 192 centimetres, 84 kilos, just 21 years of age. And he's going to shoot for goal from about 35 metres directly in front.
And we just saw Hocking off the ground, straight down to the change rooms. Let's hope it's nothing serious.
Bown is a rookie, so he can't get a game this year unless somebody has dropped off the list.
Well, again, a tryout in these circumstances for a youthful player that looks as though it has just missed to the left. It looked pretty good through the air, according to the supporters, maybe down there behind the goal, but Paders are behind, and Bizzle will kick in. 11-6 play, 7-7. It is a 23-point advantage for Adelaide.
That's a pretty good mark down there by Daniel O'Brien, who's a rookie for the Cats. He's in the same boat as Bown. Smart towards the forward pocket. Costa charged through. Went without the football, though. Bizzle has it. Back to Scholl. Scholl with a spiral torpedo, but he kicked it nowhere. And Bigland's growing in stature the whole time. He was the Crows' first pick in the draft, number 36 in the October draft, from Woodville, West Torrens. Edwards, you're gone. In the tackle from behind by Stoneham. There's young O'Brien doing well again to Snell. Snell runs it to the 50. Just gets the kick away. They want a goal. Oh, poster. You would not believe it.
OK, fellas, while they're waiting for the kick out, interchange for Geelong. Spriggs, Burns, Simpson, Lothar, Scarlett, Mensch, and now, of course, Hocking. And this is the one I can't understand. Is it Wojcinski? Wojcinski, yep.
Yeah. Well, Jason Snell there kicking a behind. Last week against St Kilda, he kicked 4 behinds and they lost by 4 points. Mind you, one of them was a goal. Ball came off his shin and the umpire reckoned was above the knee. Real contest going on here, but the Crows lead by 22 points. McGrath goes off the ground with a haymaker. Bickley pokes it up towards the 50. Connell just getting there. Actually, it was very well taken by Bown. Juggled mark and a successful one. Taken by Bizzle on Jarman. And 50 against Darren Jarman.
Oh, that was a bit quick, wasn't it? I mean, I can't understand why a senior umpire like Brian Sheehan, now what's he penalising him for? Making sure he doesn't run away after being awarded the mark. And he's given a 50-metre penalty. I thought just a warning would have been the perfect way to handle that. Darren Milburn kicks from the centre of the ground within the 50-metre zone. Allen taken to the ground by Snell. Ball spills wide for Edwards. Still in the field of play. Derek Hall. Left foot kick by Derek Hall to the front of the goals. Stoneham. Ball spills to the front of the pack. Shot at goal by O'Brien. Has just missed, has it, by the look of it? Little disappointed. It was well gathered at the base of the pack that was provided by Barry Stoneham. And the left foot snap just missing.
Ian, Darren Jarman's paid for that indiscretion. He's been taken off the ground, replaced by Welsh.
So, disciplinary move there by the coach on one of his senior players.
Hocking back on the ground for the Cats. He wasn't off long. Down the line by Byrne to Costa. Byrne went past for the return, but Costa goes deeper to Biglands. Getting more confident all the time, Biglands. The hand pass is great to James. Across the ground he goes. Didn't quite carry the kick. And the mark is taken by Harley. Bizzle. And going deep for the Cats, Corey. Joel Corey. Their first pick in the draft. Just 17 years of age. From East Perth.
He'll have another look at the replay there, Drew. He went for the hand pass, and it was probably the play that maybe he should have looked more positively at, because coughing it up was the only thing that he was going to do by kicking it, and Shane Allen has taken the mark.
Yes, the Crows aren't bothering the scorers too much in this quarter, just like the Cats didn't in the previous. They've kicked just one behind, but a problem for Geelong is, with this wind-assisted time, they've added just 1 goal too. That's not enough. They should have kicked about 3 or 4 by now.
And an absolutely emphatic exhibition of what this new rule is all about. The ball rebounded. I think Geelong were a bit lucky they weren't penalised on the first occasion, but young McGregor took possession of the ball, kneeling on the ground, gave the hand pass away, and he was penalised. Connell has the football. He kicks it high. It'll be well marked by Gary Hocking. Don't worry about him standing under a ball coming in like that. And he delivers it beautifully to Steinford. Steinford gets back and kicks into the pocket. Does it nicely too.
Yes, Ian, right there. There was no problem with Hocking at all. Just took him off with just some little bandage, I think.
Well, Gary Hocking will have a big season in front of him, as will a lot of the other more senior players in AFL ranks. And I think the coaching staff, the medical staff, are quite prepared to nurture the older players now and just make sure that they're available for as many games as possible, because a lot falls back on the shoulders of the more experienced campaigners these days. Shot at goal by Snell is disappointing for the Cats. It is through for another behind. He's kicked a couple, Jason Snell. Ronnie Burns has kicked a couple of behinds. Derek Hall has kicked a goal, but he also has kicked 3 behinds.
Yeah, they're costly misses by the smaller players on the forward line. Edwards kicks in. Still getting pretty fair distance into this breeze. Stoneham almost robbed of the ball. Smart charges hard at it. Well done by O'Brien, 43. Hocking to Riccardi, left footer, sets it up. 2 on the forward line. Graham's there and Hall. Hall out of the air. Across the goal mouth. Edwards. O'Brien tackling. He's been in the play a bit, hasn't he, O'Brien? Daniel O'Brien, a rookie. He was runner-up in the reserves best and fairest last year. Eccles up towards centre wing, and the ball knocked out, pretty deliberate by Corrigan, but the umpire calls for the boundary throw-in. 72-52. Crows by 20, third quarter.
Another interesting statistic that could be brought into football, I think, is just the effective field kicking, one compared to the other. I just feel as though the Crows, particularly in the first half, got a little bit more value out of their field kicking as distinct from the Cats.
Robbo, just a quick one on Kane Johnson, who came off. A little bit of tightness in the back. They just take it off as a precautionary. And he had a bit of trouble with it last year, but the doctor said he's OK.
Well, with 8 interchange players being allowed pretty well right throughout this round of the Ansett Cup because of the warm weather, the coaches have got that bit of leeway to chop and change. Well done, Corrigan.
There's ice down here. It's not warm.
Yeah, they allowed the 8 for the warm weather, but the warm weather finished.
Well, while we were talking there, Geelong's transference of the football from the left back pocket region to Ben Graham was quite good. Corrigan got the ball in towards the middle, and I think it was Derek Hall that kicked the ball forward, and Ben Graham was in the right spot where a big forward should be. He's about 6'4" in the old, in front, goes back, and no drama. A goal to Geelong. That's Ben Graham's 3rd.
He's back. Jim Carrey is Andy Kaufman.
I've always got to be one step ahead of them.
And Andy Kaufman is...
Insane. Comic genius. Crazy. Brilliant.
Man on the Moon. In cinemas everywhere, February 17.
With Telstra's EasySaver, local calls have been slashed to only 18 cents. The Telstra 18-cent local call will have everyone talking. For 18-cent local calls, call 132200 today.
Yes, Drew Jarman coming back on, and you had players like Jarman, Johnson and McLeod off. Opportune time for Geelong to have a real crack at it.
Would you be close enough? Would Jarman have had a bit of a phone call from Gary Ayres?
No question.
McGrath back to Bizzle.
And there's nothing wrong with that too. If you know, if a player does a stupid indiscretion, well, then he should be reminded about it.
Harley over centre wing. Pretty wide kick. I thought it was going out on the full, but it bounced out for a throw-in.
Question without notice, would Gary Ayres have played any football with Darren Jarman when they were at Hawthorn? Would their careers have overlapped?
they wouldn't have seen a lot of each other. One and one the other, wouldn't
it? I don't think they would have overlapped.
Maybe not. Could be wrong.
Here come the Crows again. Even if they get one goal into the breeze in this quarter, it might nearly seal it for them. Cats couldn't manage one in the previous quarter. This is a free kick. It's got to come back to McGrath.
McGrath's handling their centre-half-back position pretty well. McGregor's just been taken off the ground because of McGrath's dominance.
And look at Hocking lurking for the hand pass. He got it once on the inside and then went to the outside once the umpire told McGrath to get behind the mark. Connell's hand pass to Bickley. Gee, they worked that beautifully. And the kick up towards half forward. Almost down there to Bound. The ball just got over the line. Deliberate the fans there want. But the umpire calls for the boundary throw-in.
Actually, I thought Tim McGrath played that pretty well. I mean, I don't think there was any chance that he was going to be up against it if he kept it inside, and he, just to disguise it, he did very nicely.
Vardy getting ready to come back on.
That's another. Oh, here's a chance. Eccles runs onto the hand pass, snaps for goal, but puts it across the face and out of bounds on the full no score. So what we saw Tim McGrath do then, this new law that's experimental during the Ansett Cup is
falling over.
Further complication. He was off his feet. He couldn't play the ball. He can only knock it. If he knocks it out, it's deliberate. So what you do, you knock it back into the path of an opponent to kick a goal?
That's what I say. I think it was reasonably well disguised when he was under pressure. If he kept it in, that he may have been penalised one way or taking it over deliberately. Young Corey, there's a certain amount of pressure on him there, and he didn't do too badly, but Allen to clean up for Adelaide. Back into the centre, a shooter not able to take the mark. Run down by Steinfort. Riccardi. Gee, that was a fierce handball. Corey, now Milburn. Still Milburn. Looking for the free kick. Riccardi, well tackled by Perry. Ball spills to Gary Hocking.
Here's a go.
Gets the hand pass away back to the middle of the ground. Milburn again. Now Corey. This will help that young fellow. His kick towards full forward. Gathered there by Edwards. Edwards away towards the far side of the ground, and James has taken control of the ball.
Mark Rasciuto in the hands of a trainer on the outer wing. Let's hope that's nothing serious. Smart up inside half forward. Mark was dropped down there by Vardy. Jarman the hand pass out wide. Plenty of time for Goodwin to settle, and he kicks a goal.
Pizza Hut versus Pizza Haven. When it comes to taste, there's absolutely no contest. 50% more South Australians prefer Pizza Hut pizzas. With more quality ingredients, they're unbeatable on taste.
Pizza Hut. Sweet summer fun. Sweet summer fun.
This is the real taste of summer.
This quarter, Adelaide have had 24 effective kicks to Geelong 32, and ineffective kicks, the Crows just spraying them a little, 8 to Geelong's 4. Bounce of the ball in the centre, and up over the top there was Yerbury. But the free kick has been paid to Steinfort.
Sorry, Ian, Geelong have got to make a strong move in this last 5 minutes to have any chance of winning this game.
Most definitely. As a matter of fact, Curls, there's only 3.5 minutes left. O'Brien, little kick good, put it on the chest of Derek Hall.
He's roving. He was on the ball for the centre bounce. Now, that's something for a young rookie to be given that task by the coach, Bomber Thompson, and he was in the centre for the bounce.
Well, he was second in the reserves best and fairest last year. A midfielder from the Gippsland under-18 is Daniel O'Brien. Came on the ground in the second term, and as a result of that little left foot kick to Hall, Derek Hall has kicked a goal for Geelong. Well done to those two boys.
Nobody knows the places, nobody knows the faces. Nobody knows Adelaide like that. Nobody knows the feelings, nobody knows the dealings. Nobody knows Adelaide like that. Nobody knows. Nobody knows Adelaide. Nobody knows Adelaide like that.
Margin 14 points, and just under 3 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Another couple of goals be pretty handy here for Geelong. Costa spins into trouble. And the hand pass given away there by Byrne. Here's Burns, high tackle. Ronnie Burns recovered quickly, looked dead for a moment. As soon as he got the free kick, he was okay.
That's the way you want to see a player recover. Get on with the game.
Snell's kick to the edge of the square. It's sitting up here for the Cats. Here's O'Brien again. Well done, son. Back with the hand pass. A snap by Corey. And he's got it. 2 youngsters.
That's what they need.
Well, I think that's just absolutely perfect tonic for young fellas trying to make their way in senior football. They probably believe, I mean, all the talent scouts in the world, all the coaches in the world can tell you that this is where you belong. But you have to experience it. You have to do it in the heat of the moment. This is not quite the real stuff, but it's pretty close to it. And those 2 young fellas did a terrific job there for Geelong. The goal kicked by Joel Corey. So Geelong, they've had the advantage of a couple of umpiring decisions in this 3rd term. They've had 8 free kicks to 2. But sometimes you wonder, they may make that for themselves. This is Perry running away from half-back and getting on his own. Out wide there was Sikalella. They go forward now, punched away by McGrath. He's quite disciplined, isn't he, Tim McGrath, in that key half-back post. Bizzle very good. He's been a good player, Bizzle, for most of the night. Scholl out wide. Ronnie Burns, get rid of it quick, son. He did.
Oh, he's playing
very
a great
well done,
game.
O'Brien to Riccardi, and Riccardi gets another one. The tonic for Geelong continues.
A predator in a new town.
I'm not an undercover agent.
With some time to kill.
The thrill of the deal was born in him.
Sam in the bear pit.
In the wild, its favorite food is human flesh.
Profiler, Monday on 7. Before you see the Buffsters new series.
Wow. What a challenge. The Slayer. I'm good.
See The Ascension, parts 1 and 2.
100 helpless kids to feed on.
Let's watch the swearing.
Tuesday and Wednesday night on 7.
Us poor old South Australians, where's Garfield?
West Gippsland. West Gippsland, Curl.
Near Warragul.
Yeah, on the way to Warragul. But this bloke won the reserves best and fairest last year, and he's stepped up in the heat here tonight, and he's killing them, Daniel O'Brien. Little kick by Burns, puts it out in front, and here he is again. Well, he's either kicking them or setting them up. And this kick from this young kid can put the Cats in front just before 3/4 time.
And this is just what the game needed.
Yeah, you're right.
To really have a good burst.
No, you're right there, Neil, but gee whiz, it's terrific. When you see, I mean, you don't mind where the boys come from, any part of Australia, but when the youngsters come through and repay the faith of the recruiting people, where they were drafted, what position is irrelevant. They're out there playing senior football.
Exactly right.
So Daniel O'Brien, he's put the Cats in front. Will he remember this quarter hour or so of football?
Well, Geelong in the dying seconds of the 3rd quarter have hit the front. We watch now the clearance. Stephen King was pretty good. So was this young fella. Showed the presence of mind to hold on to the football and then get it to Ronnie Burns. He, in turn, delivered with precision, and this boy did the rest, Daniel O'Brien. And he has kicked the goal for Geelong to put them in front with 3/4 of a minute left in the 3rd quarter. So at least we will have a terrific contest.
That's against King there. You can't do that. You can't take your eye off the ball, look at the oncoming ruckman and jump into him like he did there. And the umpire correctly has penalised it.
Geelong 26 long kicks in this 3rd quarter. Adelaide 17. Obviously the breeze may be a factor there for Geelong's decision making. And Harley kicks the ball back into the middle of the ground. They're crumbing very effectively in this 3rd term. Steinfort may have cocked it up. Nigel Smart, brilliant football from half-back. Kicks it towards half-forward. Nearly the mark to Harley. Shoulder McGrath. Geelong may get another score. McGrath, no. The siren halts proceedings here at Football Park. 3/4 time in this Ansett Cup match. And it has been a very interesting game, to say the least. Adelaide held sway at half-time, leading by 28 points. They kicked a goal in the 3rd quarter through Simon Goodwin. But that was the absolute end of their scoring. On the other hand, Geelong kicked 6. And at three-quarter time, we see Geelong with a 4-point advantage.
Well, I think maybe the goal the Crows kicked in that third quarter could decide this game. Because since quarter time, when we had a bit of a scoring feast, it's been very tough to kick goals at the right-hand end. In fact, in the last 2 quarters, that has been the only goal kicked at the right-hand end. The Crows got it in that quarter, and that could be crucial to the end result in this game. But the Cats sure did come back late in the quarter to go to a 4-point lead at the last change. What a finish we look set for.
Hello, Nick McArdle with a 7 Sports update. Australia must win both reverse singles matches tonight to beat Switzerland in their Davis Cup tie in Zurich. The Aussies trailed 2-1 after losing the doubles. New South Welshman Lucas Parsons has won the Greg Norman International at the Lakes Golf Club in Sydney, and the Italian Prada Challenge has earned the right to take on Team New Zealand for the America's Cup. The Italians won the Challenger Series today against America 1.
There's never been a better time to get a broadsheet view of the news.
Big story.
Call now and have the Age National Edition home delivered Monday to Friday for just $3.50 a week. Business, news, entertainment and footy coverage the AFL Media Association voted best in the country. Plus, a regular column from our star recruit.
They really know their sport and they know their footy back to back.
Call 1-800-002-468.
Only 1.6 leads the pack with more space, the most power and better resale than Commodore, Camry or Magna. Ford Falcon. With new models on the way, the Falcon Runout is on. Huge runout deals across the range. XR, Gear, Futura, S and wagons. Falcon Classic, Standard Auto, Air and over $3,500 of free extras. Alloy wheels, spoiler, ABS and more. Get into Australia's superior 6, the Ford Falcon Runout.
At last, an album you can sink your teeth into. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the album. The soundtrack to the smash hit TV series. Featuring Hepburn. Garbage. Guided by Voices. Splendid and much more. It's the album you've been thirsting for. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Get it now.
Well, it all started with my dad back in the 1940s.
Hey, Waller, can I borrow your mixer? Nah, but I'll hire it to you.
But it wasn't until 1963 that the business really took off. And that's when our relationship with the Commonwealth Bank started. They've been involved with all our activities ever since. So last year, when we saw an opportunity to expand into Adelaide, of course we turned to them. Mike, can I borrow $14 million?
No, but I'll hire it to you.
Looking to grow your business? Call 13 1998.
It's jazz tap versus hip hop. A wall dance. Your heart will thump and your feet will jump to the infectious rhythm of cool heat urban beat. Book now.
Whoa, want to hear something remarkable?
Jeremiah was the bullfrog.
Triple M.
One.
Oh, God. 4 points.
7. Play hard rock.
No rap.
Maybe a bad, bad thing.
Goes to goal. Here's a goal.
This is Gary Sweet.
1, 2, 3.
The best songs of all time.
I'd snuggle up to anything that tickled and talked.
You have a remarkable mouth.
The new Triple M is a remarkable radio station.
Well, last week the Cats had a thriller against St Kilda and the margin finished up being 4 points, the Saints winning that. This might nearly be as close here tonight. And at three-quarter time, the Cats lead by 4 points, but Adelaide will come home with the breeze. Geelong 12-10-82, Adelaide 12 goals 6, 78. Let's have a look at the goal kickers. Graham 3 for Geelong, Riccardi, Hall and Arnott 2 each. Jarman pretty quiet in that third term. He's kicked 3 though. Johnson 3 and Vardy has kicked 2. Now Curls is out working the ground absolutely magnificently, and he's got Daryl Hart. He had him. Yes, he's got him. Here's Daryl Hart with Curls.
Thanks, Drew. Well, that was a strong counter-attack by Geelong there.
Yeah, we just lost the momentum of our movement through the forward line in that last 5 minutes, and Geelong capitalised really well and scored 3 easy goals there. So just players have to be aware of keep running and keep getting our numbers to half forward.
Struggling to find a forward that can take a high mark tonight.
Yeah, look, we're a little bit short there. We know that, so that's why we have to work extra hard on the ground, and that's the emphasis from that quarter.
Any changes this quarter at all?
Bigland's back into the ruck, and hopefully he can give us a good start.
Thanks for your time. All the best. Back to you, boys.
Thanks, girls. And Biglands has been going all right against this man, Stephen King, who gave away a free kick late in the third quarter. Been worried out of it by a youngster. And having a bit of a chat to the umpire.
Just quickly, you can go back to a game at Waverley last year where Blighty took on St Kilda with Trent Ormond-Allen in the ruck, and they won the game.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a lot of concern about that set of bounce.
Here we go. Biglands gets his hand to it. It's a case of who gets the next kick, really. Well, it goes Adelaide's way, out of the centre square. Bounces off McGregor. And now Scholl has it for the Cats. Oh, good mark by Mensch. Virtually held by one arm. He gets it to Ronnie Burns. Any score into the breeze, goals particularly, will be big here. Graham being held, no whistle. It goes goalwards. There's O'Brien again with a little chance. The umpire arrives. He's seen a free kick. And it's the Crows free.
Huge test here, fellas, for both sides, because the game's there to be won. Adelaide definitely have the scoring end. So Geelong have got a real acid test in front of them.
Well, Nigel Smart has the ball, and he's at left half back. He'll kick it past the wing. And no mark taken. Gathered by Eccles. Got the ball down towards Biglands. And he, in turn, has found Vardy. So Biglands doing well for a 199-centimetre sized person, getting the ball down close to the ground and delivering quite nicely.
Well, the Crows must have known something about him. He was their first pick in the draft, even though they didn't get in till late, 36th selection. But they obviously wanted him. They wanted to boost the ruck stocks.
Gee, they've got some good ones, haven't they, with Matthew Clark from the Brisbane side. But we're watching Vardy kick for goal. It goes across the face. It was going through for a behind, helped by the Geelong defence. So the first score of the last quarter is a rush behind to Adelaide. Margin 3 points. Go, Cool.
Yeah, while we're there, Rashid off the ground with a little bit of a slight concussion. He was very dizzy there for a while.
And three of those players, Jarman Rashudo and Kane Johnson, who were all very good in the first half, were exceptionally quiet in the third quarter.
Yes, and of course with McLeod, Rashudo and McLeod in the first quarter were very dominant, and of course their influence will be missed.
The stats for the two youngsters that we were talking about, O'Brien and Corey, in the third quarter. O'Brien, 3 kicks, 5 marks, 2 hand passes, 1 goal. And Corey, 5 kicks, 1 mark, 1 hand pass and a goal.
Correct, and O'Brien wasn't on for the full quarter.
Well, Mark Rashudo can smile, but he did take a bit of a knock, was crunched pretty heavily there in the third quarter. He went quiet, went out of the game, and now we know possibly why. Free kick to Corrigan here, up towards half forward. Mensch. Cats moving it on at every stage. O'Brien. It wasn't meant for you, Ronnie. Riccardi keeps it going the Cats' way, but Costa for the Crows. 3 points the margin in favour of Geelong. Adelaide coming home with the breeze, and that's a terrific mark. Taken on his chest by Welsh.
That's a big mark, actually.
Yeah. Long to full forward. Good punch by Sanderson. McGrath's in there. Cats desperate to hold it in, but you've got to be careful. Oh, free kick to Adelaide right in front.
This is that rule that the players are going to have a lot of, under pressure, they're going to have a lot of difficulty with. But I think he dragged it in, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, but, does the umpire make a decision against the Adelaide player, Eccles, McGrath, Sanderson? In went McGregor, over the top goes Vardy, and then he plucks one.
Yeah, it's
like a magician, the rabbit out of the hat trick.
It's very difficult. Adelaide fortunate on that occasion.
Eccles to put the Crows back in front. Straight through the middle.
If you love your AFL footy, then it's time to put your money where your mouth is in the Ansett Club membership competition. Become a paid-up member of your club now, and you could win tickets to the grand final, the Brownlow presentation, and 4 interstate games. Join up, then watch the Ansett Cup and answer the trivia questions to be in the running. Do it for your team, do it for yourself. Call this number now.
So a goal kicked by Andrew Eccles as a result of a free kick. Oh, up high, a terrific leap again there by Biglands. Not able to break away was Eccles. It rebounds back to Milburn. Kicked forward by Stephen King, but the mark is taken by Costa at half-back for Adelaide. He goes straight down the ground, and fortunately, Crowell is there. Takes the mark quite cleanly, goes back and delivers. A big, strong kick to the square, and Welsh marks and kicks the goal. The bonus of Scott Welsh, probably in their best lineup. Scott Welsh may get the 3rd best defender in the opposition, and he can take a mark, and as I've said before, he can kick a goal. This was well done by Crowell. He put the pressure right on the Geelong defence by kicking this ball all the way to the square, and 3rd in line, Scott Welsh marks and kicks from the square. You can't miss from there.
DJ a bit lucky there, I thought.
Little push out.
Just a little bit of interference, I thought.
Well, it's a 9-point lead to the Crows, and the Cats now have the job in front of them. They've got to outscore the Crows by 2 goals, and they're kicking into the breeze. Gallagher gets it back. Bickley. And Edwards bowled over as or after he kicked the ball. It's got to come back. It's not a relayed free, says the ump. And the Adelaide fans not happy because Jarman had the ball and they reckon it was theirs and they wanted advantage or a relay. It comes back to Eccles. Eccles kicked to centre half forward. Mentioned the pack. Comes down to the front to Byrne. Short of the goal square. Oh, what a mark by Welsh. Scott Welsh. We just talked about his ability to fly and take a mark, and that is the mark of the night.
We heard Friday night Essendon playing Bulldogs. I think it may have been you, Ian, that said Barnes could be the recruit of the year. Well, I think this boy's going to be handy.
I noticed you said that with a slight downward inflection.
This for his 3rd.
Save now at Officeworks on this Brother plain paper fax, $328. This Canon colour bubble jet printer, $127. This leather office chair, $125. Back to work super savings on now.
Listerine is clinically proven to kill the germs that cause bad breath, plaque and the gum disease gingivitis. In fact, it kills over 1 million germs in seconds. Listerine. It's dynamite against germs.
Well, on the 1st of December last year, Scott Welsh turned 21, and his 21st birthday present to the Adelaide Crows was coming over here to pull on their Guernsey. He's kicked 3 goals in this match. Darren Jarman kicks the Crows forward once again. Little misunderstanding at half forward between the Geelong defenders. They clear the ball close to the boundary line, bounces awkwardly over in front of Brad Scholl and Brett James.
And Robbo, Mark Thompson would now be looking for some real fighting qualities from his players, not to give this game away completely.
Yes, most definitely. 15 points in arrears. They led by 4 at 3/4 time. So already a 19-point turnaround, and only about 6 minutes into the last quarter, Peter Vardy coming off from the blood rule.
Plus, this is where also you look for players who are setting the example and bolstering their teammates.
Robbo, I've been raving about Daniel O'Brien. He's now been picked up by Mark Bickley, the Crows captain. Now, that is a bit of a rap for the kid.
That's a compliment, most definitely, because Mark Bickley is, well, he made his name early as a negator of a star in the opposition. So to acknowledge that he was a We're just going to have a look here at Vardy. Just off the ball. Now, yes, you can see his right eye has been cut there.
Just a little nick. Just a couple of stitches.
And coming on is Jonathan Yerbury going down towards full forward. So the boundary umpire now being given the all clear to throw it in. Up over the top was Byrne, but taken away here by Brad Scholl. In trouble was Milburn, trying to crash his way through Bizzle. Eccles, Corey, Crowell. Now Eccles again gets good distance with this kick into the pocket. Brad Scholl, the little hand by McGrath may be important there. Brad Scholl was about to lap it up. But Tim McGrath just getting his hand to it, knocks it away for a clearance. And at least a boundary throw in.
And Ian, for the first time of the night, the Crows have a tall marking option at full forward area.
Eccles a chance, but taken away by Hocking. Gee, that's a great kick. Centimetre perfect.
Well, the tall player that you're talking about, Neil, is Jonathan Yerbury, just a youngster too, just turned 23. He's 193 centimetres and 100 kilos in weight.
And Welsh plays tall when he jumps. Goodwin pushed in the back, which helped him kick the ball out on the full. So instead of him getting the free kick, he's given it away. Tim McGrath to take the kick in. Went off for the blood rule earlier in the game.
The game is still winnable for Geelong, but I think we keep coming back to the fact that they only kicked a point in the second term going to the end at which they're kicking to in this last quarter.
Ah, beautiful roving.
That was brilliant play, wasn't it? By Spriggs.
Let himself down, though, by kicking it straight to Costa.
Into Hart. Cross the ground, Jarman. Oh, good hands. Smart. A goal here would be cruel for the Cats. James. And another fine mark dragged in by Welsh.
And it's all, it all causes, the cause of it, should I say, comes all the way back to about the 6th last possession, which was young Spriggs, who gathered it beautifully, but blindly kicked it forward. And then all of a sudden you get 4 or 5 players for the Crows peeling off, and it goes over to the other side of the ground where James was given the opportunity to steady, and Welsh made a good play of it in the finish.
This for his 4th. Oh, it's a shocker.
Actually, if he didn't kick the goal, that's the best possible place to put it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm sure he wanted to kick the goal. He's having a big last quarter. He was lining up for his 3rd goal this quarter there. And he's still a chance here with a throw in the forward pocket. Good tackle. Umpire will ball it up. Will throw it up.
And it's Scott Welsh that has affected the tackle there on Brenton Sanderson. Scott Welsh kicked a goal early in the game, and as Drew has mentioned, he's kicked a couple in this last quarter, so certainly getting into the play. Eccles to Jarman. Would you write this down? Not quite, Darren Jarman. Just a little offline there, through for a behind, so 3 goals, 1 against the name of Darren Jarman.
Rob, a lot of Crows supporters will be looking for forwards now to kick goals to win the match, but to my line, I think that's not the case. The game will be won by the Crows, by their defenders right now.
Bizzle kicks in, big punch by Ben Hart. Back towards the forward 50, kicked away by Brenton Sanderson, back into the middle. No mark taken. Ben Hart falling over, tackled by Burns in the back. Gee, we've seen that a fair bit tonight, but on this occasion the umpires decided that it is an infringement. Kicks across the ground to Nigel Smart, who doubles back and then hand pass away. Jarman back to Smart. Smart will nearly kick a goal. He lines it up from about 50, just offline to the left, and through for a behind. That's his 2nd behind in this match, Nigel Smart. He loves to stream down the ground.
Not one player in the Geelong forward area, not one.
In their forward half, actually. Bickley and O'Brien about to just crawl into the centre circle, and no one from there to the Geelong goal line.
You see it a bit these days, don't you? Totally flooding one half of the ground. Hocking away to Spriggs. So there's no forwards to kick to. Oh, here's a little bit of a chance for O'Brien. Overrun by Bickley. Good hands, O'Brien. Ronnie Burns, you've got to kick this. You must kick it. He has.
Have you secured your seat yet? AFL season tickets. They're going fast. AFL footy. Call the club 9 to 8 p.m. Monday to Friday, 8447 9900. We'd like to see you, because you ain't seen nothing yet.
That favoured O'Brien.
That's what I mean by that defence. If you allow the ball through, they'll score.
Yes, well, they've got a chance to go clear of this centre bounce again. Spriggs kicks it wide. It'll be the bounce of the ball that's all important here once again. It goes to the back where Wojcicki gathers, gets the hand pass away. Steinfort just a fraction slow. Well done there by O'Brien. Got it out wide to Minch, back to O'Brien. O'Brien in towards half forward. Mark is important, and it was taken by Burns.
That's a good mark.
Burns has lifted, actually. You get the feeling that he might have been given a little rev by Mark Thompson, and he's lifted. He goes for the long bomb, looking for the extra distance. Hooks the kick drastically in the finish. Doesn't register a score.
At least they're playing some football that Mark Thompson will be very pleased with.
And I'm not kidding. It's been sparked by this rookie, O'Brien, in the just before three-quarter time, and some wonderful things in this last quarter as well.
I think he's a Brownlow medal chance, Drew.
Well, he won't get a game unless somebody's dropped off the list. He can't even play league football this year. That's the anomaly of it. Smart. He's lost it. Spriggs thrown to ground. The hand pass. Wojcicki's quick, and oh, he misses to the right. That would have been a bit handy for the Cats.
That should have been a free kick to that boy. And Spriggs should have got a free there.
It looked like it, didn't it, girls?
Ben Hart to kick it back in. It's just 10 points the margin. Next goal, very important, certainly for the Cats. Minch left it behind. Hacked out of there by Jarman. Perry, Burn for Adelaide. Kicks it well inside there, forward 50. Geelong now with Ben Graham back there in defence. Tries to tap it in front of himself to his own advantage. Well done, James. Gets it away. Crowell, Vardy to the front of the goals over the top there of Welsh and Harley. Taken to the ground there was Corrigan. Chance here for Adelaide. Goal kicked by Gallagher. Make mistakes like that.
Monday night, be a part of Mike Willis's quest to film the last remaining tribes on Earth. For the first time on television, The Last Warriors, Monday, 7:30. Followed at 8:30 by the brand new series of Ally McBeal, where you'll see things you've never seen before. Monday, 8:30. Then at 9:30, the new series return of The Practice. He's back. And it's everything you hoped for. Stay home with 7 Monday night.
Strong tackle by Welsh there, Ian.
Yes, it was, Neil, and certainly that put the pressure on the Geelong defence.
Byrne tries to break out of the middle. He's put down by Clark well after the whistle, and Clark's given away a free kick. Well, that's a bit silly.
That's number 14 again.
Kick by Byrne up towards the 50. Knock forward to Vardy. Here comes another one. Vardy in short to Jarman.
Very unselfish play there by Peter Vardy. He could have kicked the goal himself.
Do you reckon Kevin Bartlett would have passed that one off? Or?
Negative, absolutely. he may be listening and watching, Kevin, but with all due respect to a true star, he loved a goal, the KB.
He certainly did.
Yeah, Vardy was sure close enough. Jarman for goal number 4. Well, it's a bit of an onslaught coming now. Adelaide with the breeze in this final quarter, as they did in the second. Cats gave a yelp, got back to within 10 points, but the margin's now back out to 22.
And I think the fact that it is 22 points, Neil, you mentioned before that Mark Thompson will be just wishing, it'll be number 1 on his wish list, that they don't cave in.
That's very true. He just wants to see a little bit of grit and fight by his players.
maybe to get a couple back themselves. Effective kicks in this quarter, 22 to Adelaide, 8 to Geelong, and marks 10 to Adelaide, 3 to Geelong so far in this last quarter. Corrigan gets it back, gets past James, dragged down in the finish, but Mensch marks the awkward kick in. Burns feigned the hand pass, but then went wider. Chance here for Riccardi. Riccardi goes for goal. Lovely kick by Peter Riccardi. He's kicked the goal for Geelong. That's Riccardi's third goal, along with Ben Graham, who has also kicked 3. And Geelong kicked their 14th. So the margin is 16 points with 5.5 minutes left. Ronnie Burns, I think the hand pass in the first instance was going to go to Riccardi. He feigned it and then gave it moments later to the same player who kicked truly for Geelong.
And Peter Riccardi, who's putting his hand up for captaincy this year, acting captain tonight, urging them on, saying, come on, boys, we're close enough.
No, that's a genuine fly at the ball.
So
because he's got the leap, you're penalised. It seems ridiculous, doesn't it?
Free kick to Mensch, and an excellent defensive mark taken by Perry. Down the broadcast wing, Mensch from behind, goes the spoil and goes the interference. No whistle on the play. Graham won a free kick. Overrun by James, costed a good one. Kick to the 50 is well weighted, just over the defence. A beauty taken by McGregor. Man with the tennis name, Ken McGregor.
And well held this boy tonight.
Yep, found it a bit tough. So well, it's outside 50.
It's part of a learning curve for a young player.
Played 9 games last year in his first season. Watch this for a kick. Home on the breeze, and but for a centimetre would have been a goal. Just punched on the line.
Last year, Blighty, as coach of the Crows, took a young boy by the name of Luke Herbert to Melbourne, I think, 2 weeks running. Sat him on the bench. He was questioned at the coaches' conference, and he just said, it's just another part of the learning curve of a young footballer in AFL. And I think that McGregor is in that boat tonight. Just keep having a go, is all the coach asks, even if you're going poorly.
At least McGregor's getting on the ground.
Well, that's true. The other boys, I think, playing in the South Australian Football League now.
Gee, he doesn't bad disposal kill you.
Yes.
You know, that was an easy kick forward, and he missed the target. There's another one.
Well, that's the stat that we're going to come up with, I'm sure, that is going to be important in most games of football. When you get it, use it. And if you don't, how often do you cough it up? Nigel Smart streaming down the ground. Here's a chance for Crowell. Hand pass intercepted by Bizzle. I think Bizzle could be classified as one of Geelong's better players. Milburn over the top. Spriggs, awkward bounce. Back to Milburn. Milburn is in all sorts of strife. Eccles and Costa. Spriggs the tackler. Back to Eccles, that the umpire's found a free kick, has he? Back on centre wing. It looks as though it's coming all the way back. It'll go to Adelaide.
Holding the ball against the boy. Smart's tackling tonight has been absolutely fantastic.
That's the cruel thing about this game. Bizzle has been okay, but Jarman's kicked 4 goals.
Yes, well, I suppose if your immediate opponent gets the goals, it certainly tells against you. But he's been a very dour defender, Clint Bizzle. The passage of play now results with Clark, and then Brett James. His little kick is good. Biglands should have taken that.
I agree.
Graham to McGrath to Scholl, and then Harley. Harley goes very wide. Contest. Ben Hart at the back. King in front, looking for the free kick. O'Brien and Spriggs. Spriggs gets it clear. Dragged as he went down to the ground for Geelong is Scholl. It was Clark, actually. Gallagher kicks it across his left shoulder towards half forward. Marking contest. Graham on this occasion. Crowell takes it away. McGregor bumped off the ball by Mensch. McGrath, strong play by the Geelong defence, and eventually Scholl into the centre of the ground. The mark is taken by Steinfort.
Steinfort straight up the ground to Clark. He's got Riccardi running past. He's got players out wide. He comes to Spriggs. 51 metres out.
Good kick.
A high ball to the goal square. Burns. Hart gets back to spoil. Oh, Burns almost gets it to a scoring position, and eventually Ben Hart lets it go over the line.
Well, they're definitely keeping at it, Geelong. They're applying pressure, but of course just finding it very difficult to score those couple of goals.
Not enough time left now, I don't think.
They need 3 goals to win, and it's 2.25 minutes. It'd have to be a hell of a flurry. Riccardi, there's a snap by King. There's 1 goal.
When a Japanese brewer took their huge market by storm with a new beer, MLC was there. With the performance of 15 independent investment managers, specially selected from Australia and around the world, MLC can open the door to investment opportunities you've never dreamed of. Isn't that the sort of partnership you're looking for? MLC, working towards your wealth.
2 minutes left in the game. Adelaide 17-10, 15-11 Geelong, 11 points the margin. And Crowell on the ground at the expense of McGregor, who looks as though he's come off because of the blood rule.
Yeah, just a slight nick, no problem.
So the umpire to restart play. Excellent bounce. Mensch beaten for it on this occasion by Biglands. Gathered here by Riccardi. Tries to get the hand pass away. Caught was Clark. Umpires found a free kick. It's going... He indicated first that it was going to Geelong, I thought, and then...
No, I think he's a legging.
Legging, was it? So it's James that takes the free kick, goes wide to Edwards. Edwards, beautiful kick. The lead was good, but then the execution from about 40 metres by Tyson Edwards was 10 out of 10 right onto the chest of Peter Vardy. Vardy has kicked 2 goals in this game, so he'll snuff out any challenge from the Cats here with this kick if he can convert from about 30 metres directly in front. Shot at goal, looks pretty good. Vardy's got 3 and Adelaide will win this game. 3 goals to Vardy, 3 goals to Kane Johnson, also Scott Welsh. Darren Jarman has kicked 4 for the Crows. On the other side of the ledger, Ben Graham and Peter Riccardi have kicked 3 each for Geelong. Stephen King, Derek Hall and Simon Arnott have kicked 2 each.
Yeah, the Cats will look back on the game and say, well, they didn't lead by enough at quarter time, and they had the breeze, only 9 points. And they didn't lead by enough at 3/4 time, and they led by only 4. Mensch double hands it down. Jarman inside 50. Crowell does well, left boot. Oh, great goal. Andrew Crowell, who just came off the bench. He kicked 3 goals last week. Hasn't seen much game time tonight, but that was a beauty.
And it's the young fellas that had their first test last week in Crowell, Biglands. Byrne, number 6, didn't get much ground time last week. They haven't given Sikalella much ground time. Stuart Bound was in the 28 but didn't play at all last week. It's those sort of fellas that are going to come into this side and just give the Crows that added flavour in the list of 42 players of which to pick their senior side from. James and Jarman. Now Byrne. Now this is the confidence that you see. He was eventually run down by Riccardi and caught with the ball, so Peter Riccardi paid the free kick, but don't mind watching a young bloke tackle it the way that Byrne did on that occasion. Clark running away from the middle of the ground. It goes inside his forward 50, shoots for goal, does David Clark, misses to the left and scores a behind in the dying seconds of the game. Geelong 15-12, 102, trailing Adelaide 19-10, 124. Adelaide by 22 points. Siren imminent. And the kick in. Stephen King missed completely the punch away. Biglands runs down the ground. Lovely long kick to the goal square. The siren sounds. No score registered. Adelaide win this game against Geelong at Football Park in Ansett Cup year 2000. So the Crows. There's some good sportsmanship there. Scotty Welsh and Tom Harley. Darren Jarman, 4 goals, but Adelaide finish up victors here, 22 points. The margin, 19-10, 124. Geelong, 15-12, 102.
Well, the Cats, I suppose they can say, well, they didn't quite get enough goals when they were kicking with the breeze, and when they conceded the Crows 5 in the first quarter, when the Crows were kicking into it, that was probably crucial in the overall of the game, because nobody was able to manage that many for the rest of the night. Here's Curls at ground level.
Yeah, thanks very well, Nigel. That was a very pleasing performance.
Yeah, it is. We're seem to be getting the goals on the board now this year, and Geelong pushed us all the way, so it was lucky in the end, I think.
Your tackling tonight, that's the best I've ever seen you tackle.
Thanks, girls.
Have you been working?
I practiced a lot on it.
Have you been working on it?
Oh, look, he puts a lot of emphasis on trying to bring our players down and that, so we've spent a bit of time on it, but I think the boys were improving week by week, and hopefully we can go better next week.
I also thought a bonus tonight was your ruckman.
Yeah, look, they're learning all the time. Young Jonathan and Rhett, look, they're only young, only 2 or 3 games between them, so look, they're going to go right through the year.
Tyson Edwards back in defence tonight.
Yeah, 4-quarter effort from Tyson. The coach really put it on him early on, and he performed really well. And I thought the defensive unit wasn't too bad. And look, if we can just keep going along, I think we'll have a very good year.
Nigel, well played. All the best. Enjoy yourself. Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Curls. Well, after losing to Melbourne by 18 points last week in the first round, the Crows get their first win for the season in the Ansett Cup, a 22-point victory over the Cats. That effectively puts the Cats out of business for the semi-finals, but the Crows still boxing on with some chance. We'll be back shortly at Football Park.
Australian Rail Travel Centre gives you one of the great rail journeys of the world with this unbelievable 9-day holiday. Travel from Adelaide to Perth on the famous Indian Pacific and tour the highlights before flying to Broome for 3 nights. Then either fly or connect with the legendary Ghan to return home. This fantastic all-inclusive holiday starts from only $1,610 per person. There are other great rail journeys too, so call Australian Rail Travel Centre now on 8231 4366.
Pizza Hut versus Pizza Haven. When it comes to taste, there's absolutely no contest. 50% more South Australians prefer Pizza Hut pizzas. With more quality ingredients, they're unbeatable on taste. Pizza Hut.
Hey, don't take life too seriously. Have Piccadilly spring water delivered to your home and receive a summer bonus pack for just $20. That's a ceramic water well, 22 litres of Piccadilly, fridge pack and a handy travel pack with bottle, all for just $20. So for the spring water deal, it's sure to put a smile on your face. Call Piccadilly on 13 1980.
Come on, Adelaide. Phone this number now to register for your chance to put your love of sport to the test. Seven's $1 million game returns. And we're playing it like never before. Wednesday night, 7:30.
Well, the scores tonight fluctuated with whoever was kicking with the breeze, which was pretty strong from right to left on the screen as we were watching it. And the Cats led at quarter time, the Crows at half time, the Cats at 3/4 time, and then the Crows came home with the breeze and won by 22 points, 19-10 to 15 goals 12. Now the goal kickers, and Jarman kicked 4 goals for the Crows and Welsh kicked 3. He got 2 of them in the last quarter. Johnson kicked 3 goals as well with Vardy. And the goal kickers for the Cats, Graham kicked 3 and Riccardi kicked 3. King, Hall and Arnott each kicked 2 goals. Now let's have a look at the ladder in this group. It comes from Group 3 and Melbourne are on top, having won both of their games. Adelaide give themselves some chance of making the semi-finals. The winner of this group looks like playing Essendon in the semi-finals, but Geelong have played 2 and have failed to win a game. That was the action tonight from Football Park, and we certainly look forward to next week's round. And the